This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Coopers Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Wednesday, May 8, 2024. Prominent Jamaican diaspora member criticizes advocacy group for seeking to damage the country's good name. Health minister says a $21 billion hospital renovation spend was not limited to Cornwall Regional. Opposition spokesman on industry says the country's trade deficit is a threat to economic stability. In regional news, water restrictions in Grenada to take effect on Sunday. In international news, Israel says it has reopened a key Gaza crossing after a rocket attack. In sports, primary school Central Athletics chance enters final day. And in business, Mayberry Investments introduces IPO for its Jamaican equities bond. The details after the break.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10 or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice in the electrical business.
Catch the first news of the day, a comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. A prominent member of the Jamaican diaspora in the United States, Dr. Clovis Nelson, is urging his counterparts to resist misinformation and shun any activity which may hurt brand Jamaica. Dr. Nelson is known in the United States as an education administrator. He holds a doctorate in educational and organizational leadership. A diaspora group led by Captain Rupert Francis has strongly criticized the government for what it says is inaction on a range of issues. Francis and his team have been criticized for creating confusion around next month's diaspora conference in Montego Bay by advertising a parallel event for the same venue at the same time. On Tuesday, Dr. Nelson took to social media to accuse Captain Francis and his collaborators of spreading misinformation.
Fellow Jamaicans, I am Dr. Clovis B. Nelson, encouraging all Jamaicans home and abroad to unite in vigilance in the face of actions which are not in the interest of our country. We stand at a critical juncture in our nation's history. Despite the tireless efforts of the Andrew Holness administration to propel Jamaica towards first world status, a small but vocal group of individuals in the diaspora seeks to discredit our beloved country on the international stage. Through misinformation, along with misleading and inaccurate narrative, we must not let them succeed.
According to Dr. Nelson, while there's more work to be done, it's clear that the efforts of the Holness administration have been transformative.
As one people, we must stand vigilant against actions which are not in the interest of Jamaica. There is no doubt that the Jamaican economy is in the best shape it has ever been for a very long time. The government has been able to pass on benefits to the people by cutting GCT, increasing pensions for senior citizens, funding available for youth to attend the Hard Trust Skills Program free of cost. Let us unite, my fellow Jamaicans, to protect brand Jamaica against the forces of division and misinformation.
Dr. Clovis Nelson. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says there's no truth to claims that the government spent $21 billion on the renovation project at Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James. During his contribution to the sectoral debate on Tuesday, Dr. Tufton told the House that the sum includes expenditure on multiple other health facilities in Western Jamaica.
This 21 billion is being bandied about, either without proper understanding of the expenditure or just an attempt of mischief making. First of all, the 21 billion includes expenditures on Falmouth, on Noel Homes, on building out a new accident and emergency, the previously Mount Salem Clinic, a new diagnostic center outside of the main building. Because for those who care to know the truth, they would appreciate that we had to build a hospital around the hospital to continue the service.
The health minister says the allegations of cost overruns on the renovation project are false.
There is a difference between cost overrun and rescoping of cost, because what is being bandied about as cost overrun is not cost overrun. What started as fixing a ventilation system morphed into the stripping down of a 10-story building and a replacement of every single window, every single door, every ward, every operating theater. So in effect, what we are doing is building a brand new hospital for the
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Health and Wellness Minister. He was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Dr. Tufton says the Jamaica Labour Party is the best option for Jamaicans who want to see continued improvement in the healthcare sector. He made the point on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday.
We had 3 years of downtime of that 8 years because our focus had to be on COVID. My appeal to the people of Jamaica is that those 3 years, we managed to maneuver to keep most Jamaicans safe. We should be allowed the opportunity to continue on this journey to get to the point where we see more tangible benefits of the investment we have placed on the ground.
That sounds like an appeal for a third term.
Absolutely, and I'm not afraid to say that. The JLP, this government, under Andrew Holness, is the best choice for the country at this point in time. I don't want to question the intelligence of the Jamaican people because they're all intelligent people, no matter what our education level is. But it is for us as our organization to make that case.
Dr. Tufton has acknowledged that the government has work to do in improving its relationship with the Jamaican people.
I don't criticize polls. I'm not in the habit of that. My function, I prefer, is to see how I can improve whatever is discerned by the people and to respond to their sensitivity. If people perceive a particular thing, it may not be the reality, but it's my job to try and make that connection between their thought process and what we're doing. Mm-hmm. So I think we have a lot of work to do. I am the man on the bridge for health, and I will do my part to ensure that we make that connection. And I think that's the big challenge that we face at this point in time.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Health and Wellness Minister. Opposition spokesman on finance Julian Robinson says the Bank of Jamaica must answer questions about the continued impact of its interest rate policy. Mr. Robinson was reacting to news that the government intends to maintain the BOJ's inflation target at 4 to 6% for the next 3 years.
Minister, I think it is important for us to ensure that the BOJ comes to the Parliament. I think my understanding they're supposed to be here twice a year to explain their thinking and the rationale for this. I haven't had an opportunity to read in detail the table documents. They are continuing the 4 to 6 range, which has obtained for the 3 previous years. The reason is I think we are now seeing for the first time the impact of the high interest rates on the performance of companies and the general slowing down of economic activity.
The government failed to meet its revenue targets for the last financial year. This was due to a fall-off in corporate income taxes. It's believed the BOJ's high interest rates impacted company profits, which in turn affected the amount paid by those companies in corporate income tax. Mr. Robinson says, as things stand, the BOJ must come before Parliament and justify its approach to monetary and fiscal policy.
So I think it's important for the parliamentarians to have that discussion with the BOJ. The BOJ is independent, and what they do obviously has a significant impact on the overall economy. And there is need for, given the issues with revenues falling below projection and the likelihood that we may remain with elevated interest rates, given there are more downside risks to inflation remaining high than in coming down. So I just want to urge you, let us have those discussions with the BOJ and let them come here and provide the rationale for the decisions. I'm not against what they are proposing. I'm just saying it needs a fulsome discussion given the impact that it has on the economy.
Julian Robinson, opposition spokesman on finance. He was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. Opposition spokesman on industry Anthony Hilton is raising an alarm about the country's trade deficit, saying it poses a threat to economic stability. Mr. Hilton says while the domestic picture appears positive, the state of the country's external accounts is cause for concern.
For example, the country currently imports about 90% of its productive input. 90%. For the first 11 months of last year, imported goods and services amounted to almost $2.1 billion, or 30% of total import, while fuel, which accounted for 26% of total imports, were running at almost $1.8 billion. US, that is. The total imports by value for the first 11 months of last year were almost $7 billion, while total exports amounted to only $1.8 billion, leading to a trade deficit of over $5 billion. Close to 50% of the import bill goes to support the country's consumption habits.
The external account of a country is its balance of payments with other countries, as represented by its import and export of goods and services. Historically, Jamaica's imports consistently outstrip its earnings from exports. Mr. Hilton says the balance of payments problem will only be remedied when Jamaica transitions from a low-growth economy.
Mr. Speaker, with only 6 years remaining for Jamaica to meet its Vision 2030 and the UN Sustainable Development Goal, or SDG, there is increased urgency to put corrective strategies, policies, plans and programs in place to even come close to achieving the targeted level of inclusive growth and development envisaged by the UN, by the United Nations agreed initiatives, and our own national consensus, Vision 2030.
Anthony Hilton, opposition spokesman on industry investment and global logistics. He was making his contribution to the sectoral debate on Tuesday. Defense attorney Diane Jobson, who's representing murder-accused Amar Collymore, has urged the 7-member jury not to be swayed by the circumstantial evidence submitted by the Crown. Collymore is on trial for the murder of his wife, businesswoman Simone Campbell Collymore, and her taxi driver Winston Walters. Mrs. Campbell Collymore and Walters were shot and killed on Stanley Terrace in Red Hill, St. Andrew on January 2, 2018. In her closing arguments on Tuesday at the Supreme Court, Jobson sought to discredit the Crown's key witness, convicted murderer Wade Blackwood. Robin Williams tells us more.
Wade Blackwood confessed to being one of 2 shooters who killed Simone Campbell Collymore and her taxi driver Winston Walters. Blackwood pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of illegal possession of firearm. In March 2021, he was handed 2 life sentences for the murders and 8.5 years for the firearm. At that time, his eligibility for parole was after serving 35 years. Since agreeing to testify in the matter, Blackwood was resentenced to life with eligibility for parole after serving 20 years. Amar Collymore's attorney Diane Jobson urged the jury not to trust Blackwood. She said, quote, The evidence before the court has taken the jury down a garden path, distracting them. For such a reduction in prison sentence, a man would tell a lie even upon his mother, and that is what he did, told lies. End quote. Ms. Jobson labeled Blackwood as an unreliable witness. She added that Collymore was not among the persons at the crime scene when his wife was shot and killed. She said, quote, "Look at all the evidence clearly without the drama and enthusiasm from the Crown. Do not be distracted by crumbs of circumstantial evidence, unreliable bit of evidence." End quote. Ms. Jobson further submitted that the Crown's dependency on cell site information showing constant communication between Collymore and his co-defendant Michael Adams is not reliable. She argued, quote, "The two phone providers don't add up to make one due to their poor service. How many times you have to call one number? You call it all 8 times before you get through." End quote. She attacked the claim from the prosecution that Collymore killed his wife in order to benefit from her $100 million insurance policy. She said based on evidence from the insurance company, Omar Collymore was worth an estimated $150 million. According to her, Collymore's annual earnings amounted to $6 million. Ms. Jobson questioned, quote, "A person who is worth $150 million is going to kill his wife for $100 million? Meanwhile, Ms. Jobson submitted that her client didn't hide the fact that he was having an extramarital affair. She added that having an affair doesn't amount to one being a killer. She said, quote, "Are we going to condemn him because of his infidelity? If you're a gallus, that don't mean you're a murderer. If that was the case, 3/4 of Jamaican men would be criminals. Having more than one woman doesn't equate to being a killer." End quote. Collymore is charged jointly with 3 others, Adams, Dwayne Pink, and Shaquila Edwards. Ms. Jobson is expected to continue her closing arguments when the trial resumes on Wednesday morning at 10. Robianne Williams for Nationwide News.
Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby says cleanup of the Oxford Mall Arcade, popularly known as Ray Ray Market, will begin on Wednesday. The market, located in downtown Kingston, was gutted by fire in the early hours of Tuesday morning.
I'm so disappointed because this is happening over and over again. The vendors of Ray Ray Market, too many times now it has happened to them. And it's something that we have to look at the whole security of the market. My initial talk to them is that we will clear the place tomorrow morning by 6 o'clock. Trucks will be here and tractor to clear the place. The reason why we haven't started today is because we don't want to take up the remnants of the fire and send it to dump and there's any sparks or so and cause a different problem. So we have agreed that tomorrow morning we will start it.
The blaze destroyed all the stalls in the market, which accommodates about 200 vendors. It took 4 units and 32 firefighters from the Jamaica Fire Brigade to douse the fire. Sections of the market have been destroyed by fire on 4 different occasions since 2019. The latest fire was in January last year. Before that, the market was affected by fires in 2019, 2020, and 2022. Mayor Swaby says he will do his best to assist those affected in the shortest possible time.
I know persons are asking what way we can help, and initially I have to say that while the property, there's no building here, but is that the things are not insured, so I can't speak to that. I don't know if the minister or the government will be providing any little help because I've seen that in Portland, so I don't know. I'll certainly have a discussion with the Minister of Local Government to see what is possible, but I cannot make a commitment today to the persons.
Andrew Swaby, Kingston Mayor. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
Nationwide 90 FM is at it again. Team Revolution will clear every hurdle and sprint to the finish line as we cover the games of the 33rd Olympiad from Paris, the city of love.
Fraser Price gets the start, and look at this, Ahuri going well, and here they're coming to close it down. Jetta's coming through, but Fraser Price on the near side, the Olympic champion defends! She defends the title! Wonderful
Nationwide's coverage is powered by our diamond sponsor, Pizza Hut. Now, that's delivering from all locations, island-wide.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news, the harsh 2024 dry season in Grenada has forced the National Water and Sewerage Authority, NAWASA, to implement stringent water restrictions. The restrictions will take effect on Sunday, May 12. The authority says the restrictions will include limitations on irrigation and watering of gardens, lawns, and grounds, as well as restrictions on washing roadways, pavements, paths, garages, or vehicles using hoses. It also prohibits the filling of swimming pools and ponds and any other activities deemed by the authority to necessitate a significant or excessive quantity of water. The move follows related actions in several Caribbean countries, including Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and St. Kitts and Nevis. In international news now, the Israeli military says that it has reopened the Kerem Shalom crossing into Gaza, a key terminal for the entry of humanitarian aid. The crossing was closed over the weekend after a Hamas rocket attack killed 4 Israeli soldiers nearby. But the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees says no aid has yet entered and there is no one to receive it on the Palestinian side. Workers fled during an incursion by an Israeli tank brigade on Tuesday. That limited incursion did not appear to be the start of the full-scale invasion of Rafah that Israel has repeatedly promised, but the prolonged closure of the 2 main crossings could exacerbate the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, where the UN says a full-blown famine is already underway in the north. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Outperform, outlast. We top performance. Easy Jackama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electricians. Fancy select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply. We service what we sell.
This outstanding 6'4" athlete credits Jamaica with her first Olympic victory ever.
Jamaica is filled with Olympians.
World record holder McKinley dashes into the lead.
We must never forget the forerunners of Jamaican Olympic greatness.
Coming into the home stretch, it's Wint who challenges the leader.
Win or lose, athletes never forget their Olympic experience.
Fairly Notty has devastated another world-class field. And Hemmings is going to do it. Hemmings wins it. She's the champion.
Win or lose, Jamaicans will cheer the loudest at the Olympics so that the world will never forget who we are.
And Usain Bolt is moving away, and Jamaica retain their title, and the world record has been taken apart. Oh, I say.
From July 26 to August 11, tune in only to Nationwide 90 FM for the coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, because we're here to ensure that you never forget. Nationwide's coverage is powered by our bronze sponsors: National Road Operating and Construction Company Limited, Digicel, Grace Foods, Spirits of Jamaica, Imperial Optical Jamaica, and Rainforest Caribbean.
In your morning sports report, 29 events are scheduled for today's final day of the three-day in-sports Devon Biscuits Primary Schools Central Athletics Championships at the GC Foster College. Nagahead won 3 of the 8 relays, all in championship record time on yesterday's second day, to move to 89 points from 11 finals, 12 ahead of nearest rivals Greater Portmore. Defending champions Spanish Town are third. Nagahead secured the Class 4 boys 4x100 meters title in record time. Nagahead also broke the record in the Class 3 girls 4x100 meters relay, erasing the mark set by the same team on day 1 of the competition. Their third record on the day came in the Class 2 girls sprint relay. Significantly, the time run by the girls was faster than the winning time recorded by the Class 2 boys. Record champions Real Madrid will welcome German giants Bayern Munich to the San Diego Bernabeu today for the second leg of their European Champions League semi-final, starting at 2 p.m. Jamaica time. The first leg ended 2-2. A win for Bayern will set up on an all-German final against Borussia Dortmund, which beat PSG, while Madrid will look to reach their 18th European Cup or Champions League final. Convener for junior players at the Jamaica Golf Association, Alison Reed, says Jamaica will be well represented at the Caribbean Amateur Junior Championships despite not fielding a full team. The tournament is set for the Caymanas Golf Club in July. Reed says Jamaica was not able to select 2 girls for the under-15 group and 1 boy for the under-13 category.
The team that we have is a strong team, and what happened is we lost kids during COVID. So children that used to play either went away to boarding school, stopped playing golf, or have just started back, so their games are not to the level that they need to be. So we're on a recovery from COVID. You know, we're trying to build a team, build a golf program, get the kids back engaged. But the JGA felt that we should still host and give the children the advantage of having the games at home.
She says the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico are Jamaica's biggest rivals.
Since 2016, it's been Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Dom Rep that have. Puerto Rico's won most of the time. Jamaica's come second, and Jamaica's come third. We've never come first. That's always been my goal since I've been dealing with junior golf, to come first.
Alison Reed. And that's it for your morning sports.
Is your strata filing its annual returns? In keeping with the Registration Strata Titles Act, strata corporations are required to submit an audited financial statement or a copy of its accounts, prepared in keeping with generally accepted accounting principles, signed by the chairman and at least one other member of the executive committee. This must be submitted annually to the Commission of Strata Corporations within 120 days after the end of the financial year. For more information, contact the Commission of Strata Corporations at 926-9748-9.
In business this morning, Mayberry Investments Limited, MIL, says it has launched a landmark initiative in Jamaica with the introduction of the Mayberry Jamaican Equities MJE Bond Initial Public Offering IPO. Mayberry Investments says MJE will seek to raise capital through the issuance of secured corporate bonds across 3 tranches. The company has announced an initial principal amount of $2.2 billion and the option to increase to $3.3 billion. Chairman of the Mayberry Group, Chris Berry, says the bond IPO is a paradigm shift in the investment landscape. He says it offers not just bonds, but a gateway to transformative investment possibilities that redefine financial prosperity. The subscription period runs from May 3, 2024 to June 7, 2024, with 3 tranches offering varying coupon rates ranging from 9.25% to 10.50% per annum. annum. Investors can tailor their investments to match their objectives with tenures ranging from 13 to 36 months. Mayberry plans to list the bonds on the JSE, enhancing liquidity and investor accessibility. The proceeds from the IPO will refinance existing debts and fuel the expansion of MJE's investment securities portfolio, unlocking new avenues for sustainable growth and value creation. Overseas, the BBC is reporting that the U.S. government says it has revoked some licenses that allowed U.S. chip makers to export certain goods to Chinese technology giant Huawei. The Department of Commerce did not specify which permits were cancelled. However, the move follows Huawei's release of an AI-enabled computer powered by a chip created by Intel. American chip maker Intel declined to comment to a request for comment from the BBC. The BBC has also contacted Huawei and San Diego-based chip giant Qualcomm for responses to the announcement. Since 2019, the U.S. has restricted technology exports such as computer chips to Huawei, citing alleged ties to the Chinese military. Finally now, in foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar has gained 11 cents and will open trading today, selling for an average $157.55 against the benchmark U.S. dollar. The Jamaican dollar has gained 35 cents and will open trading today, selling for an average $115.55 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican dollar has lost $1.13 and will open trading, selling for an average $197.56 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
For all your musical needs, visit the Music Mart, the most complete music store in Jamaica. Telephone 876-960-7712. The time brought to you by the Music Mart is
6:30.
Our spring sale is back, so it's time to save. From May 2nd to May 11th, shop for super savings and super deals all across our stores. It's the best time to get that perfect gift for Teacher's Day and Mother's Day, or even something for yourself. May 2nd to May 11th at Azan Super Centre, Crossroads and Linstead.
Azan Super Centre, we're gonna make you smile. Azan Super Centre, it's a lifestyle.
Cool loans, I'll lend you 500 grand. We buy appliances and electrons. All flexible, payment plan. Yeah, man, a hot cash. Hot. I hope to 500 grand. Yeah, man, a hot cash. $500,000 that make you rich fast. 100 grand for buy steel and black. 200 for furniture, laptop. 200 for keep birthday bash. Yeah, money loan hot. Get a cool loan to purchase all your electronics, furnitures, and appliances at coolmarket.com.
Nationwide 90 FM is at it again. Team Revolution will clear every hurdle and sprint to the finish line as we cover the games of the 33rd Olympiad from Paris, the city of love.
Fraser Price gets the start, and look at this, Ahuri going well, and here they're coming to close it down. Jetta's coming through, but Fraser Price on the near side, the Olympic champion defends! She defends the title! Wonderful run by Shelly-Ann.
Nationwide's coverage is powered by our diamond sponsor, Pizza Hut. Now, that's delivering from all locations, island-wide.
Teacher, I beg you ring the bell. Teach your children, teach them how to spell. R-A-T rat, M-A-T mat, C-A-T cat. Look at that, you got to learn that. Yeah! You got to graduate before you go to the gate. I beg you ring the bell. Teach your children. Teach them how to spell. R-A-T rat.
Come down.
M-A-T.
Oh no, C-A-T. C-A-T cat. Look at that. Look at that.
Now we're playing that song. Well, let me tell you good morning first. Let me greet you. Good morning to all our listeners, our YouTubers. Good morning to you NTMers. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us in the space this is Nationwide this morning. NTM, the big show. Really, really happy to have you this Wednesday morning. It is Wednesday, May 8th, 2024, and I'm Tawna Thomas.
And I'm George Davies.
Hey to you, George.
Good morning, Tuna.
Do you have a favorite teacher?
Several. Let's do the teacher challenge, Tawna.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you, without hesitation, to name every teacher you had from grade 1 in primary school to grade 5. Go.
Me can't do that.
Just Christ.
Grade 1.
Yes.
Miss Bent.
Mhm.
Grade 2, Miss Miller.
Mhm.
Grade 3, Miss Madden, was it? Or was Miss Madden grade 4? Grade 5 was Mr. Smalling, and grade 6 was Mrs. Stewart.
So you see, easy. So
I don't
grade
remember
3.
grade 3.
That's 100.
I think
King.
it was,
King went to good
Miss
school. You know.
Madden.
King go good school and King go St. Richard's, you know. I'll be a star at St. Richard's. You know. Come, King. All right, go. Man, say
Go ahead.
Miss Berry, they say, boy, tough.
Grade 3 was either Miss Madden or Miss Myers. Mrs. Myers.
Hold on. You graduated high school in 1992?
Wow, I wasn't even born.
Yeah. But King, all right, King, give it. Hold on, no, wait, King. Tell me your grade 6 teacher at St. Richard's. You must know that one there. Miss Hector.
Miss Hector.
Miss Montauk or Miss Hector?
Yeah.
All right, so
So
the
you had
man's
two.
two teachers in grade 6. All right. So grade 1 for me was Miss Hyatt. Grade 2 was Miss Seaton. Grade 3 was Miss Francis. Grade 4 was Miss Levy. Grade 5 was Miss Briscoe, primary school.
And 6?
No, I didn't do grade
It
6.
exists.
In life, hey, no.
I agree with
Tawna,
you, Jermaine.
Tawna, you know, listeners.
You thought about the question before you came in.
Hold on,
So
Tawna.
he
Hold on,
prepped.
Tawna.
He
Listeners, tell me if you think to me a lie. I did not think about the question before. The listener them know. No, he just come to me just off the dome, off the cuff. Yeah, just off the cuff. So the point of saying that, Tawna, is to say that these, you notice we're talking about the foundational teachers.
Mm-hmm.
But Tawna, I even remember my teachers from infant school. My first teacher was Miss Drummond, and then Miss Hyatt. Yeah. So I had that thing. I wasn't so 100 in infant, but things started looking up from grade 1 and not bad since then. But yeah, I remember and people who know me know that I remember my teachers. And I remember all of the high school teachers as well. But there were so many different subject areas.
Meaning like your form teachers.
No, man, remember
your
the
subject teachers.
Yes, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I remember all of mine.
I tell you this quick one before we go to the what's in my mind that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I remember sitting on a bench. The primary school, you had 2 people on one bench. That's how it was at my school.
Mm-hmm.
So this boy beside me, Horace, we were reading something and we came upon a name, Stephen, the one with the PH, not the one with the EV. So I said Stephen. So he said, no, George, it's not Stephen. Stephen is not Stephen.
He said Stephen.
So I said, so how could I what? He said, Stephen. I said, idiot boy, it's not Stephen, it's Stephen. The man said, it's Stephen. I said, all right, when Miss Francis come, we're going to ask her. No, Miss Francis is a rough teacher, You see, when she come, I'm going to tell her what him say. But can't tell you what she do.
Oh, dear.
So, for about 3 weeks, we call the man Stephen everywhere we see. If we see him now, I say Stephen and him laugh. Anyway.
So, but is he? How did he get there?
But I realized now that he had a history of doing that, because I remember one day we had moved to grade 5 now, and we were reading the Gleaner, the sports section, and I was showing them something about horse racing. But on the same page was an article about Keith Arthurton, the West Indies batsman. Him say him grandfather tell him say it's not Arthurton, it's Appleton. So I said, Bridget, what kind of foolishness do you come see him with the foolishness? The man said, no, it's Appleton, it's not Arthurton. I said, then where the P come from? Him can't tell me, I don't know. So he had a history.
Well, I tell you, we're going to the WOM now. We had friends back in school asking where the L came from in Colonel too. No, yeah, how you get Colonel? It's Colonel, man.
Colonel.
But happy Teachers Day to all the amazing teachers out there. And I know we have one in our YouTube chat. Carlene Smith, happy Teachers Day to you. Hope you have
Carlene.
An amazing one. Yeah. And we'll talk some more about that a little later. But this morning for What's on My Mind, we're featuring Chartered Accountant Dennis Chung. What's on his mind? Sustainable economic growth.
Many persons would have heard me always say that Jamaica does not have the capacity to sustainably grow at rates of 2 to 3% over any extended period. In fact, I have always maintained that once we recovered from the COVID setback, that we would go back to growing between 1 to 2% if we were lucky. I have been asked many times to explain what is meant by that. A simple explanation is that no matter how much rain is falling, you can only catch water to the capacity of the tank you have. Recently, I concluded a 5-day bicycle ride around the island, starting in Kingston and going on the coast along the main roads through all 14 parishes. The ride has grown and we just had over 40 tourists coming to do the ride and about 50 participants every day. Cycling events have a lot of potential as a tourism product. Having gone to a few overseas myself, where in one case over 7,000 persons came from overseas to participate, with each person spending around US $2,000 each, then it means that over 3 days they would have spent around US $14 million or Jamaican $2.2 billion. Jamaica has the beauty and tourist appeal to actually attract many more than that. And in fact, the recent participants say that the ride we did was the best cycling vacation they have ever done, having ridden all around the world. Persons were fascinated with the natural beauty of Jamaica. They love the food and the warmth and hospitality of the people and the local hotels we stayed at. But sadly, Jamaica does not have the capacity to realize its full potential, as over the decades our governments have failed to invest in our infrastructure, which many didn't understand what some of us as commentators were saying in the early 2000s about the harm being done when CAPEX or capital expenditure was reduced or eliminated in order to meet fiscal targets, instead placing more emphasis on how much money could be given away through path and other means. In other words, giving a fish rather than teaching the people how to fish. So some examples are the fact that our main roads have been ignored for so long and are in a bad state, improving in many respects, but bad after many years of neglect. So while we can see roadwork happening in St. Thomas and Portland, which have been long neglected, and also in Hopewell, Hanover, there is obviously no care or attention being given to the main roads between Negril and Mandeville, and then through Porus in Manchester, which for me says that the responsible MPs have not been aggressive enough in their representation, as even an initiative like fixing the potholes for their constituents until the main fixing can be done to drive on would have been welcomed and showed effort. The other thing that struck me is that Jamaica relies so much on tourism, and still we don't do what is necessary to maximize our earning potential. So the disorganization I see in the towns of Ocho Rios and Montego Bay limits our ability to maximize the value from them, and how filthy they are reminds us of the neglect. And on the Negril 7 Mile Strip, for example, we don't have adequate lighting for tourists to come on the strip at nights and support local businesses. It's as if we shut down our earning potential at 6 p.m. and tell the tourists to go to bed. But even after they go to bed, alas, there is no water for them, because the West, the tourism mecca, is suffering from a lack of water, which is something that should never happen. In fact, they have been making plans to address this for the past 20 years. And in 20 years, we cannot have adequate water supply, even though the island is surrounded by water. Then the last thing I will mention is that we have a limited amount of hotel rooms on the south coast, and especially in and around Mandeville. Combine that with the road condition through Porous, for example, and then we can legitimately ask ourselves, are we interested in real development in these areas? So based on our capacity, even if the world is raining high levels of growth, then the teacup that we set to catch some of that growth will always limit our capacity to grow. If we want growth and for the people to prosper, then we must invest in infrastructure and public transportation and expand our capital expenditure program, which has until recently been neglected for far too long. Because right now, if we were faced with even 2,000 persons wanting to do the bike event, it would not be possible given our lack of infrastructure, which is a lost opportunity. This is the reason why Jamaicans who are thought to be lazy go abroad and do very well. A government's role is primarily to allow every person to realize their full potential by providing an enabling environment, which means investing in the country's infrastructure to start with. The recent roadworks are a welcome move in that direction, and we must do more to uplift the investment in our capital infrastructure if we want our people to prosper.
Thank you so much for that. What's on my mind, Dennis Chung. He's no stranger here. He's a chartered accountant telling us on his mind this morning about sustainable economic growth. Going to take a break and come back with more.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:47.
Get ready! The best ever international meet to be staged in Jamaica. The inaugural Jamaica Athletics Invitational. A World Continental Tour Silver with a star-studded cast of international and local stars. Saturday, May 11, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at the National Stadium. Plus, a surprise entertainment package never seen before in Jamaica. Admission, finish area $3,000. Regular grandstand, $2,500. Bleachers, free with tickets obtained from outlets including the Stadium Ticket Office, Ticket Outlet, Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, and the National Stadium Ticket Office. Starting May 8th and online via mysticonlinetix.com. April 22 to May 4. The inaugural Jamaica Athletics Invitational. A World Continental Tour Silver. Saturday, May 11, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at the National Stadium.
Touching lives every day, so many different ways, a part of all you do. Sagicor will make you feel secure, reaching out for more, we'll always see you through. Reach for more, whatever you're dreaming, whatever your goals, will help you achieve them. You're never alone. Taking care of today's needs, take care of tomorrow's dreams. Every day helping you succeed, that's what Sagicor means. Today's needs, tomorrow's dreams.
Get mom the style she will love at Ashley Furniture Home Store. Save up to $126,998 on select lounge, dining, and bedroom sets. Elevate her home now with styles as low as $26,999. It can be yours with our flexible financing plans. Celebrate mom with the style she needs and will love. Only at the Ashley Furniture Home Store. This is home. Offers end May 23, 2024. Conditions apply.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Street Smarts 1 is on tap now. Ludlow McLean from the El Shaddai Taxi Company is on the streets. Good morning, Ludlow.
Good morning, George, and good morning, Tonna.
Hey to you, Ludlow.
And I can't, our listeners are motoring for all our YouTubers, transport operators. Morning. Boy, Dennis, Mr. Chung has said a lot. Debit equal credit, assets equal, equity equal, assets minus liability. Wow, accounting format. The situation on our road is that those of you on the eastern side, you're leaving Gordontown Road and heading into Papin Square. You're going to find it a bit busy, but you can make your way onto Olop Road. From Olop Road all the way into the Ligonier area, it's pretty good going. And those of you coming from places like Edison Flats, and you're using that major road that takes you back to Papin. Can't remember the name now, but it's pretty good going there. And from there, all the way down to, if you go into the Garden Boulevard area that's in Mona, it's pretty good going. If you get onto Mona Road, it's steady progress again, all the way to Wellington Drive. Then from Wellington down to Monroe Road, all the way down to Mountain View. You won't have any problems that side, because going across to Arthur Wynn is pretty good going. Stanton Terrace, onto Ferry Avenue, then onto Lady Musgrave Road. It's not a problem right now. It's building, but that will happen later on during the course of the morning. So it's our first report. It's bright and sunny. There are some clouds above, but no threat of a rain at this point in time. It's over to you, George.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow McLean there from the El Shaddai Taxi Company with Street Smarts 1. Jeremy and the people them say you make me look fat on the camera. The camera make me look fat. Yeah, I don't understand why. Anyway, the word of the day is up next.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Your word of the day is spelled G-A-M-B-O-L, spelled G-A-M-B-O-L.
Gamble. Gamble. Gamble.
Gamble is your word of the day. It's a verb, an action word, gamble. And it simply means to skip about, as in dancing or playing. Another synonym, frolic. Gamble is your word of the day, spelled G-A-M-B-O-L. It's a verb. Dictionary.com is telling us this morning that gamble was first recorded around 1495, between 1495 and 1505. To use it in a sentence, the puppies would gambol around the yard, chasing each other with glee. Another for you. After a long day of work, the friends decided to gamble on the beach, letting loose and enjoying the moment. Gamble is your word of the day, meaning to skip about, as in dancing or playing, frolicking.
It's a word that every time I see that word or hear that word, I think of children coming home from school and gambling along the lane as they go home.
That used to be me.
Yeah, man. All of us.
That's your word of the day. Up next, your features at the top of the hour, the news.
Diabetes is one of the most common diseases in the country. Diabetes happens when your body isn't able to take up glucose into its cells and use it for energy. This results in a buildup of extra sugar in your bloodstream. Poorly controlled diabetes can lead to serious consequences, causing damage to organs and tissues in the human body. Many people are affected by this disease, but did you know diabetes can also affect dogs and cats? Today in Pets World, we'll discuss symptoms of diabetes mellitus in a dog or cat. Diabetes is fairly common in dogs and cats. Just as in humans, the disease can be devastating to the body if left untreated. Animal Care Technologies, ACT, through its YouTube channel Animal Care TV, says early symptoms of diabetes in dogs and cats include lethargy, which may go unnoticed.
The symptoms of diabetes, however subtle or apparent, are caused by both the reduction in the delivery of glucose to the cells and the elevated blood levels of glucose that is unused. Diabetes tends to afflict adult dogs and cats, and since they cannot communicate how they're feeling, lethargy is often mistaken for maturity. It would be obvious that something was wrong if a rambunctious puppy or kitten suddenly became lethargic. But a mellow adult dog or cat may seem normal when it's actually energy deprived. Therefore, lethargy is often overlooked as a first symptom of diabetes.
ACT says changes in appetite are also a symptom of diabetes in dogs and cats.
More noticeably, the cells being starved for glucose causes the animal to feel a constant sensation of hunger. The term used for increased hunger is polyphagia. Despite an increase in food intake, diabetics will begin to lose weight. This is because they are not able to utilize the glucose that is derived from food. Instead, the body begins to burn fat stores in order to survive. Because obesity is a contributing factor in the onset of diabetes, many diabetics will present as overweight patients that exhibit unexplained and sudden weight loss.
Increased thirst and frequent urination are also symptoms of diabetes, which commonly results in a visit to your vet where tests can be done to identify what may be affecting the family pet. Urinary tract infections are also common symptoms of diabetes in pets. Cataract formation is another symptom of diabetes in dogs.
In diabetic dogs, cataract formation occurs in almost all cases, even after treatment is pursued. This does not occur in cats. Cataract formation in a relatively young dog makes them a suspect for diabetes mellitus.
Once diagnosed, a treatment plan will be designed to meet the individual needs of your pet. The plan will address the type and amount of insulin, how it is to be administered, dietary restrictions, and exercise for your pet. Type 1 are often seen in dogs, which requires an insulin injection, while cats are more often diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Insulin injections are usually used initially, but when fed a special diet, about 70% of cats can eventually be maintained without the insulin. There is no cure for diabetes, but through commitment and management, your pet can live a happy, comfortable life. That's it for Pets World. Until next time.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
Having issues cleaning, storing, and securing your jewelry? I'm Tana, and today on Lifestyle Pages, we share some useful tips on how to clean, store, and secure your jewelry. The best way to untangle a necklace is to sprinkle it with a little baby powder, but be careful not to use too much. Once you've applied the powder, use your hands to gently pull it apart, then use a pin to finish the job. You no longer need your significant other to wear your favorite bracelet. Take a large paper clip and unfold it so it looks like the shape of an S. Hook one side onto the jump ring of the bracelet and hold the other side of the S with your fingers. Take your free hand and wrap the bracelet around to fasten it. Clean dirty gold jewelry with a simple solution. Mix a mild dishwashing detergent with club soda. Let that stand for about 10 minutes, then remove and pat dry with a lint-free cloth. I'm Tana, and those were your Lifestyle Pages.
News
On the go, the latest stories from Jamaica and around the world are literally a finger tap away. Keep up to date with Teen Revolution 24 hours a day online via nationwideradiojm.com. Listen live, read the latest stories, hear every soundbite. Be a part of the vibrant online debate via Facebook and Twitter. Now you can get all your favorite premium nationwide content at your convenience. Visit the Android Play Store and download it for free today. nationwideradiojm.com. All day, every day. Team Revolution.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
From Negril Point to Morant Bay, a little kindness can go a far way. The time by the Jamaica Information Service is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston Normal Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news this morning at 7, Wednesday, May 8, 2024, 4 men are dead and a policeman is nursing gunshot wounds after early morning gunfight near the Kingston Public Hospital. Prominent Jamaican diaspora member criticizes the advocacy group for seeking to damage the country's good name. And the health minister says $21 billion hospital renovation spend was not limited to the Cornwall Regional Hospital. In international news, Israel says it has reopened a key Gaza crossing after a rocket attack.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. We begin with an item of news that has just come into our news center. A police constable was injured and 4 suspects were shot and killed in an early morning gunfight. The incident took place at the intersection of Charles and King Streets, near the Kingston Public Hospital. Reports are that the police responded to reports of gunfire about 1:30 a.m. Upon arriving at the scene, they were met with gunfire. A gun battle ensued between the policemen and the gunmen. During the exchange, a policeman from the Kingston West Division was shot in the hand. It's understood he is currently in hospital receiving treatment. A team from the St. Andrews Central Division provided assistance to their colleagues, and they engaged the men in a shootout. When the shooting subsided, 4 men were dead. 4 men were shot and killed, and the police recovered 5 firearms, including rifles, from the scene. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, and the Inspectorate Professional Standards Oversight Bureau, IPROB, have been notified. So that's the very latest news coming to hand. The police and gunmen, early morning gunfight about 1:30 a.m. at the intersection of Charles and Kings Streets near Kingston Public Hospital. Men in a vehicle challenged the police personnel. The police responded. Police from the Kingston West Division intervened. One of their colleagues was shot. They got support from a team from the St. Andrews Central Division. And when the shooting subsided, 4 men lay dead. And the police say they took 5 firearms from the scene, including rifles. That's the very, very latest information we have. We hope to get some more for you as the morning progresses. Now to other news. Now, a prominent member of the Jamaican diaspora in the United States, Dr. Clovis Nelson, is urging his counterparts to resist misinformation and shun any activity which may hurt brand Jamaica. Dr. Nelson is an education administrator in the United States. He holds a doctorate in educational and organizational leadership. A diaspora group led by Captain Rupert Francis has strongly criticized the government for what it says is inaction on a range of issues. Francis and his team have been criticized for creating confusion around next month's diaspora conference in Montego Bay by advertising a parallel event for the same venue at the same time. On Tuesday, Dr. Nelson used social media to accuse Captain Francis and his collaborators of spreading misinformation.
Fellow Jamaicans, I am Dr. Clovis B. Nelson, encouraging all Jamaicans home and abroad to unite in vigilance in the face of actions which are not in the interest of our country. We stand at a critical juncture in our nation's history. Despite the tireless efforts of the Andrew Holness administration to propel Jamaica towards first world status, a small but vocal group of individuals in the diaspora seeks to discredit our beloved country on the international stage. Through misinformation, along with misleading and inaccurate narrative, we must not let them succeed.
According to Dr. Nelson, while there's much work to be done, it's clear the efforts of the Holness administration have been transformative.
As one people, we must stand vigilant against actions which are not in the interest of Jamaica. There is no doubt that the Jamaican economy is in the best shape it has ever been for a very long time. The government has been able to pass on benefits to the people by cutting GCT, increasing pensions for senior citizens, funding available for youth to attend the Hard Trust Skills Program free of cost. Let us unite, my fellow Jamaicans, to protect brand Jamaica against the forces of division and misinformation.
Dr. Clovis Nelson. Health Minister Dr. Chris Tufton says there's no truth to claims that the government spent $21 billion on the renovation project at Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James. During his contribution to the sectoral debate on Tuesday, Dr. Tufton told the House that the sum includes expenditure on multiple other health facilities in Western Jamaica.
This 21 billion is being bandied about, either without proper understanding of the expenditure or just an attempt of mischief making. First of all, the 21 billion includes expenditures on Falmouth, on Noel Homes, on building out a new accident and emergency, the previously Mount Salem Clinic, a new diagnostic center outside of the main building. Because for those who care to know the truth, they would appreciate that we had to build a hospital around the hospital to continue the service.
The health minister says the allegations of cost overruns on the renovation project are false.
There is a difference between cost overrun and rescoping of cost, because what is being bandied about as cost overrun is not cost overrun. What started as fixing a ventilation system morphed into the stripping down of a 10-story building and a replacement of every single window, every single door, every ward, every operating theater. So in effect, what we are doing is building a brand new hospital for the...
Meanwhile, Dr. Tufton says the Jamaica Labour Party is the best option for Jamaicans who want to see continued improvement in the healthcare sector. He made the point on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday.
We had 3 years of downtime of that 8 years because our focus had to be on COVID. My appeal to the people of Jamaica is that those 3 years, we managed to maneuver to keep most Jamaicans safe. We should be allowed the opportunity to continue on this journey to get to the point where we see more tangible benefits of the investment we have placed on the ground.
That sounds like an appeal for a third term.
Absolutely, and I'm not afraid to say that. The JLP, this government, under Andrew Holness, is the best choice for the country at this point in time. I don't want to question the intelligence of the Jamaican people because they're all intelligent people, no matter what our education level is. But it is for us as an organization to make that case.
Dr. Tufton is acknowledging that the government has work to do in improving its relationship with the Jamaican people.
I don't criticize polls. I'm not in the habit of that. My function, I prefer, is to see how I can improve whatever is discerned by the people and to respond to their sensitivity. If people perceive a particular thing, it may not be the reality, but it's my job to try and make that connection between their thought process and what we're doing. So I think we have a lot of work to do. I am the man on the bridge for help, and I will do my part to ensure that we make that connection. And I think that's the big challenge that we face at this point in time.
Dr. Chris Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. The principal of Homewood Technical High School, Hadrian Mikulski, says he'll be appealing to the Caribbean Examinations Council CXC for consideration in its grading of the exams that were underway at the time of Tuesday's bomb scare. Homewood was one of 3 schools affected by the incident.
A number of our students were in active external examinations. It was just about half an hour before the examinations were scheduled to complete. And so a number of them were through with their examinations. Others were in active writing. I strongly believe that those who were in active writing were affected, but I wasn't able to have that conversation with them. I will speak with them tomorrow to better understand how they were affected. Following that, I will continue my dialogue with CXC to see how best we remedy this situation.
Principal Mikulski says the incident, which the police have since declared a hoax, has far-reaching implications for students and the education system.
I just want to appeal to the persons out there who may be involved in these kind of practices, these activities, to desist from doing so. We're talking about the future of our country. We're talking about persons who've been preparing for this day, these days, for many years, and it's very unfortunate that on the actual day of their examinations, they are faced with these kind of distractions. And so I'm really hoping that moving forward, our education system will be free from these sort of disruptions.
Hadrian Mikulski, principal of Homewood Technical High School. In addition to Homewood, located in Manchester, threats were recorded at Kingston College and Campion College in St. Andrew. The Overseas Examinations Commission, OEC, which administers CXC exams in Jamaica, says it will be making representation to the regional exam body on behalf of the affected schools. Executive Director of the OEC, Hector Stevenson, says the commission will also be working with schools to implement more tangible measures should any more threats be made. Opposition spokesman on finance Julian Robinson says the Bank of Jamaica must answer questions about the continued impact of its interest rate policy. Mr. Robinson was reacting to news that the government intends to maintain the BOJ's inflation target at 4 to 6% for the next 3 years.
Minister, I think it is important for us to ensure that the BOJ comes to the Parliament. I think my understanding, they're supposed to be here twice a year to explain their thinking and the rationale for this. I haven't had an opportunity to read in detail the table documents. They are continuing the 4 to 6 range, which has obtained for the 3 previous years. The reason is, I think we are now seeing for the first time the impact of the high interest rates on the performance of companies and the general slowing down of economic activity.
The government failed to meet its revenue targets for the last fiscal year. This was due to a fall-off in corporate income taxes. It's believed the BOJ's high interest rates impacted company profits, which in turn affected the amount paid by those companies in corporate income tax. Mr. Robinson says as things stand, the BOJ must come before Parliament and justify its approach to monetary policy.
So I think it's important for the parliamentarians to have that discussion with the BOJ. The BOJ is independent, and what they do obviously has a significant impact on the overall economy. And there is need for, given the issues with revenues falling below projection and the likelihood that we may remain with elevated interest rates, given there are more downside risks to inflation remaining high than in coming down. So I just want to urge you, let us have those discussions with the BOJ and let them come here and provide the rationale for the decisions. I'm not against what they are proposing. I'm just saying it needs a fulsome discussion given the impact that it has on the economy.
Julian Robinson, opposition spokesman on finance. He was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. Opposition spokesman on industry Anthony Hilton is raising alarm about the country's trade deficit, saying it poses a threat to economic stability. Mr. Hilton says while the domestic picture appears positive, the state of the country's external accounts is cause for concern.
For example, the country currently imports about 90% of its productive input. 90%. For the first 11 months of last year, imported goods and services amounted to almost $2.1 billion, or 30% of total imports, while fuel, which accounted for 26% of total imports, were running at almost $1.8 billion. US, that is. The total imports by value for the first 11 months of last year were almost $7 billion, while total exports amounted to only $1.8 billion, leading to a trade deficit of over $5 billion. Close to 50% of the import bill goes to support the country's consumption habits.
The external account of a country is its balance of payments with other countries as represented by its import and export of goods and services. Historically, Jamaica's imports consistently outstrip its earnings from exports. Mr. Hilton says the balance of payments problem will only be remedied once Jamaica transitions from a low-growth economy.
Mr. Speaker, with only 6 years remaining for Jamaica to meet its Vision 2030 and the UN Sustainable Development Goal, or SDG, there is increased urgency to put corrective strategies, policies, plans and programs in place to even come close to achieving the targeted level of inclusive growth and development envisaged by the UN, by the United Nations agreed initiatives, and our own national consensus, Vision 2030.
Anthony Hilton. Overseas news now. The Israeli military says it has reopened the Kerem Shalom crossing into Gaza, a key terminal for the entry of humanitarian aid. The crossing was closed over the weekend after a Hamas rocket attack, which killed 4 Israeli soldiers. But the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees says no aid has yet entered, and there is no one to receive it on the Palestinian side. Workers fled during an incursion by an Israeli tank brigade on Tuesday. That limited incursion did not appear to be the start of the full-scale invasion of Rafah that Israel has repeatedly promised. But the prolonged closure of the 2 main crossings could exacerbate the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, where the UN says a full-blown famine is already underway in the north. That's the news.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:16.
Employers, mark your calendars. The annual Employers Return, SO2, originally due March 31, 2024, is now due on April 2, 2024. File online at jamaicatax.gov.jm. Contact 888-TAX-HELP for more assistance. The temperature by Tax Administration Jamaica, working together to serve you even better, is
28 degrees Celsius in both Kingston and Montego Bay.
More savings, more choices. Get active with Active Home Center. The one-stop shop for everything for your home. We have more savings, more choices, unbelievable prices. Wide selection with the latest style. The kitchen, bathroom, right down to the tile. Buy the hottest items on spot, don't miss out. Best options under one roof, no doubt. More savings, more choices.
Visit us in store or online at www.activehomecenter.com.
We have more savings, more choices.
This Mother's Day, you have even more reasons to shower mom with love. Use your Sagicor Bank credit card to get her something special, and you could win up to $200,000 cash back. The more you spend on mom, the more chances you get to win. Make this Mother's Day a win-win. Use your Sagicor Bank credit card to show mom some love, and you could win up to $200,000 cash back. Sagicor Bank, the best rewards ever. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Nationwide 90 FM is at it again. Team Revolution will clear every hurdle and sprint to the finish line as we cover the games of the 33rd Olympiad from Paris, the city of love.
Fraser Price gets the start, and look at this, Ahuri going well, and here they're coming to close it down. Jetta's coming through, but Fraser Price on the near side, the Olympic champion defends! She defends the title! Wonderful run by...
Nationwide's coverage is powered by our diamond sponsor, Pizza Hut. Now, that's delivering from all locations, island-wide.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean from the El Shaddai Taxi Company. Good morning again, Ludlow. Ludlow? Ludlow not there. All right, we're trying to find him. There's a report coming out of Germany about an increase in attacks on politicians. Yeah? There was an incident last week, was it last Friday, where 4 teenagers were arrested for attacking Matthias Ecki, a member of the European Parliament. They kicked and punched him as he was hanging up posters for his party, and a Berlin senator and former mayor, Franziska Giffey, was injured when a man struck her with a bag as she sat in a library. They said the bag had something hard in it. And those are just 2 of the incidents of attacks against politicians in Germany. Wonder what's happening there. Ludlow McLean, are you with us now?
I'm always here.
There you go. Proceed, sir.
All right. Okay. Just to give a quick update of what's happening in certain areas. If you're in the Kingston 8 area, you're going to find it flowing from Manor Park, but you're going to have some traffic going further down Fountain Spring Road, going past Hillman Road, in the vicinity of Mayor Brown's Corner, coming down, and it's a similar situation along coming out of Avondale, Roehampton Close, Border Avenue onto Mannington Road. It's steady, but it builds up later as you get closer towards Constant Spring and Short Road and towards Dunrobin Avenue. That's where you're going to find the traffic. And that southbound traffic is take you into the Harvard-Tree area. Now, those of you who use Barbican Road on a regular basis, this time it has traffic, and as I tell you, the bulk of the traffic really is between Arcada Drive and going further out next with Rough Light. So you know you're going to have a challenge on the eastbound side. Westbound, not a problem. Vehicles are flowing heading in that direction. And now earlier on, those people are in the Pomo area wouldn't find it too bad, especially those of you who are heading out of the Elsha area. But it gets, the build-up is really in that Greater Nugget area. That's actually a central point. So you're going to have traffic converging in that particular area. Similar situation out of Spanish Town, those 2 roads that run, that's the Dovecot main road there, so you call it St. John's Road, taking it towards the main road, and also the Old Harbour Road that takes it onto that main road, we call it the Spanish Town bypass. That's where you're going to have the traffic building. So as the morning progresses, there'll be definitely will have more traffic. So let's be careful as usual in your maneuvering. And remember, I always advise when you're overtaking, before you overtake, you check that rear view mirror, and you check your wing mirrors, and then you indicate. So please be careful. Don't just come out, and that always causes a problem. Poor overtaking is as a result of a lot of accidents. But as usual, at Street Smart, your safety is all concerned. George.
Thank you, Ludlow. Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow McLean there from the El Shaddai Taxi Company. Up next, the front page.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Front page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the front page here on Nationwide 90 FM. I am George Davis.
And I'm Tona Thomas.
Well, just before we get to our scheduled front page, just want to give you some more information, Tona, as we got it from our sources concerning that shooting incident. Well, that gunfight. It wasn't a shooting incident. It was a full-on gunfight between police and suspected gunmen at the intersection of King Street and Charles Street. Further to what we reported in the 7 a.m. news, that 4 men were shot and killed and a policeman shot in the hand. The policeman, we understand, Constable Thomas, shot in the hand. He was treated. I don't know if he's still in hospital. Suspect he may be home by now. The report is that the men were traveling in a white Toyota Isis vehicle, a white Toyota Isis 2012, near the old JPS building. And the report is also that Constable Thomas and his colleagues were on patrol along Princess Street when they heard several loud explosions coming from Orange Street near Tranquility. They went to that area where they saw the men. The men, I don't know if they were firing at other gunmen or whatever it was, but the police heard the gunshots. They responded, and then the men turned their fire on the policemen, men traveling in a white Toyota Isis vehicle. Now, during that exchange, Constable Thomas was shot and hit, and the police called for backup from St. Andrew Central. When the St. Andrew Central policemen came, they engaged the men in a gunfight. And when the shooting stopped, 4 of the men were shot and killed. 2 M16 rifles among the haul, well, not haul, 5 firearms found overall, including 2 M16 rifles, is what the report from the police said, and that the INDECOM and IPROB have been informed and that the investigations are continuing. That's what we have.
And we must tell our listeners, George, that we were trying to get the commanding officer for the Kingston West Police Division, SSP Phipps, but he told us that he's still on the scene. They're still processing the scene. So we'll make some efforts again to try to get him sometime after 8 o'clock to see if he'll be able to provide us with an update as to what happened in this incident.
Yes, indeed. All right. Let's crack on now, because on Thursday, the government will begin a series of island-wide community consultations on the Road Improvement Initiative, SPARK, which was announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness during his budget presentation. SPARK is a 2-year road rehabilitation program set to transform the island's roadways. The first consultation, happened already, took place in Duhaney Park in Western St. Andrew.
Scores of residents attended and detailed to the government officials and technocrats roads in desperate need of repair. Speaking at the consultation, the local government minister Desmond McKenzie, he said that the initiative is aimed at revitalizing over 2,000 roads across the entire country. He said the roads selected for rehabilitation will come after consultations with residents of these communities. And for an update on the SPARK program, we're now being joined by the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Desmond McKenzie. Good morning to you.
Morning, George. Morning, Tana. And good to be with you in your program this morning.
Yeah. Just before we go there, Tana, Minister, the shooting incident, is that in or near your constituency?
That where exactly took place?
They said at the intersection of Charles and King Streets near KPH.
So that is my constituency.
And you've heard nothing of what?
Just vaguely what you have heard so far. I have been trying to speak with the police because that area covers 2 police divisions. Kingston Western does not extend beyond Princess Street. So the other section would be Kingston Central. Anything going beyond Princess Street, Orange Street, King Street, going that side would be Kingston Central.
Mm-hmm. And now to SPARK, Minister McKenzie, we mentioned to our listeners that a consultation took place last Thursday but have any other consultations across the country taken place with those MPs? Or is the format that was used by you last week will be the format for all the other consultations?
Right, yeah. And we did conclude Western St. Andrew on Saturday when we had the second consultation in Waterhouse where all 3 municipal divisions in that constituency would have been completed. We did Granny Park and Seaview Gardens, and then we did Waterhouse and another division. So we have concluded the consultations in Western St. Andrew, and we are now finalizing to move the next consultation into rural Jamaica.
So the consultation format is with you as the local government minister and the MPs. That's a format, or can the MPs meet with their constituents by themselves?
Well, the format is the consultation is being undertaken by the CD, the Constituent Development Committee. So it's a joint-up approach. The program is in the CDF office. It is being administered by the National Works Agency and the Ministry of Local Government. So the consultations are a joint-up approach between MEDJEG, local government, and all the other, well, the NWC, National Water Commission, is a part of it. So it is a collective responsibility between the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and the Ministry of Local Government. So the consultations will be conducted with representatives from the National Works Agency, representatives from the municipal corporations, representatives from the Ministry of Local Government, right across the board.
And with that in mind, the consultations, what's the timeline to complete the consultations across all these constituencies?
Well, we remember now we're doing all 63 constituencies,
Mm-hmm.
and when we do the 63 constituencies, we are going to be doing, let us say, in a constituency where there are 4 divisions. We would probably tie over 2 there if we could do all 4 divisions within a constituency at the same time. That will be done. We are expecting that if we work hard enough, by the end of August, thereabout, we will be able to conclude the entire all 63 constituencies. But we have to make provisions for any uncertainties around the consultations. But we are hoping to conclude the consultations as quickly as possible so that we can move to the next phase of the SPARK program.
Going to take a break and come back with more. Please stay on the line. We're speaking with the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Desmond McKenzie, about the SPARK program.
Jamaica live good, yeah. Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:32.
Building wealth the smart way means you have a clear mission for your money. Specific and measurable means defining the reason for your financial goals. Achievable and realistic means keeping those goals meaningful, yet attainable. Think more retirement, less world's richest. Timely means keeping a time frame in mind so that all efforts remain focused.
Visit barita.com/opportunities for more growth coach insights.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Get ready! The best ever international meet to be staged in Jamaica. The inaugural Jamaica Athletics Invitational. A World Continental Tour Silver with a star-studded cast of international and local stars. Saturday, May 11, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at the National Stadium. Featuring the Olympic champion Hansel Parchment, former world champion Fred Curley, British record holder Zarnell Hughes, rising triple jump sensation Jaden Hibbert, Kyron McMaster, and Kristen Coleman, two-time world champion Danielle Williams, former world champion Nina Asher Smith, world record holder Toby Amusa, world championship medalist Shanika Ricketts, Marie-José Talou, St. Lucian Hot Shot, Julian Alfred, Nia Ali, Rochelle Clayton, Kemba Nelson, plus a surprise entertainment package never seen before in Jamaica.
Welcome back. We're talking Spark with the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Desmond McKenzie. Minister, Spark was announced by the Prime Minister in his budget presentation last year, 23-24. So based on where you are with the consultations and the ground left to cover, we may not start Spark this year at all.
No, yeah, we're definitely working to start. Remember, the program is a 2-year program. The first phase of the program, remember, it is $40 billion. And the first phase is a $20 billion program that will pay attention to community roads. So these are our municipal roads, community roads that fall under phase 1 of the program. Remember now, a 2-year program. So we have put the necessary things in place in terms of what is going to be required to push the program. So the consultation now is that leg of it now that will put us in a position now to commence based on the roads. We will be doing the assessment of the roads, and once the assessment of these roads is done, then we move to the next stage. So we are working, and I think we will be able to commence on the downside of the year, the program, once we put all the necessary things in place. As a matter of fact, the next consultation is slated for Southwest St. Catherine on Thursday, and we have gotten almost 60% of the proposed dates coming from the various constituencies across the country for the consultation. So we are moving at a pace now that will put us in a position to expedite the process of the consultation.
Here's a concern I have, and you can tell me if it's a genuine concern or not. I'm thinking of procurement. So as you consult, clearly, if you're consulting, you're opening up the floor to suggestions, courses of action prescribed by the stakeholders, community members, the local government representatives, and of course, what central government thinks is the right thing to do, the best spend of taxpayers' money. So the project needs that kind of definition based on what the stakeholders say should happen. So you're going to have to put that before procurement. Under the Spark program, are the normal procurement rules going to apply? And if those apply, aren't those set to further delay the start of the works?
We have been very proactive in the discussions with the various bodies that deal with procurement. So those discussions are well advanced as it relates to the program. So that has been taken into consideration. Remember now, the program is going to be put out to public tender in packages, and so that is going to make it a lot more easier. International public tender. So that is going to make it a lot more easier. So already the meetings have been held at the various levels as it relates to the program, and that was why it took us this long, based on the announcement, to start to do the implementation, because we had to work out those details to facilitate the program over the 2-year period.
Let me also clarify this. When you say consultations to determine what to do in terms of fixing the roads, is it that the government has an idea, a program in mind of what it wants to do, which roads it wants to fix, but you are inviting consultations, comments from residents and local government representatives to determine which additional ones, how to proceed? Because I want to know if there's a defined scope of work that the government has, but you're going to refine that scope of work subject to the consultations, or you're just going out there and based on the consultations, you then begin to scope and define.
Let me clear this up. The normal road program that is undertaken by the National Works Agency and the municipal corporations will not be affected. So those programs are still in place. We are placing emphasis on the community roads. And the community roads is based on a mapping that has been done by local government and NWA. We will map all the roads.
You're talking like scheme roads that haven't been fixed in 20-odd years, 30 years.
So community members can come as they did at Waterhouse and in Danny Park and make recommendations on the roads. We're not saying that all the roads that are recommended will be fixed. The roads will be assessed. Roads that require drainage pipes. That is why the Water Commission is at the table, because every road that is chosen, we have to determine, one, whether or not this road needs drains, sidewalks, etc. Is there work to be done by the National Water Commission on the road? So it is a comprehensive program, George, which I believe will work, because we are allowing the residents to say to us, and the residents did in no uncertain way in the park. They spoke about the conditions of their roads. And the fact is that these roads that have been put forward are roads, George, that are community roads that have an impact on community lives in all communities across the country.
Now, Mr. Mackenzie, after you've completed all the consultations, hopefully by August, as you're saying, how do you then, in the next phase of starting to fix these roads, determine which roads get fixed in the first phase, second phase, third phase? How is that going to be determined?
Because already I said to you, we would have a database of all the roads. And once the assessment of the road is done, the costing of the roads, these roads then will be, that determination will be made by the technocrats in terms of the conditions of the roads, the amount. Remember now, each constituency is allocated, I think, 350, I think it's 350 million in the first phase. So, it is based on the conditions of the roads that these roads will be done.
Mm. And just going back to something you said earlier in relation to George's question about procurement, is it that those who will be able to bid to fix these roads, it's not just local contractors?
It is being put out to international tender. That is the intent, to put it out to international tender. And it is not unusual for road work at that magnitude, because, it's the first in the history of Jamaica that this amount of money is going to be spent on roads. We have never had, since we attained universal adult suffrage in 1947, 1944, thereabout, we have had government, and this is not money that government is borrowing. This is money that the government is using from its own resources, $40 billion. And, it is something which is is high on the agenda of the government, because one of the things we heard when we went out there from 2016 right up is the condition of our roads. So we are putting in place the necessary steps to ensure that the program goes smoothly in terms of what is going to be required for the program work efficiently.
The opposition minister have consistently said that, look, the design of the Spark program and the consultations, it is created and crafted to cut out the local representative, to not give them the voice that they ought to get for something as important as this. So the government will say it meets, has a community meeting, hear from some residents, and then go and do what the government thinks is best, which is to, of course, take care of its own child. You faced that criticism persistently from the local government debates earlier this year and even before, after the Spark program was officially announced by the Prime Minister. Respond to that for me at this stage again.
There is absolutely no way. The consultations is not just a normal consultation. The names of persons who attend the consultation is recorded. The meeting is a minuted meeting of the consultation. So there is nothing that we can do to alter what was presented at the consultation. And this government, nobody can question our track record in terms of transparency in dealing with allocations across the board. Since I've been sitting in the chair as Minister of Local Government, we have not in any way used politics in terms of making allocations. Every councillor, every division is treated the same way, and that is why the intent of the Spark program is also to take away that political edge, to allow the residents to make the representations that they feel on their roads, and there has been unanimous consensus when we met in Dearne Park and Waterhouse on the roads that needs to be addressed.
Yes.
We made the point that we are not going to be able to fix all the roads.
Yes. Give me a practical example, though, because all right, you say you're going to the consultations move to Southwest St. Catherine on Thursday.
Yes.
So if it is that the road from the square in Old Harbour all the way up to Bannister is approved for repair, and the road
let me make the point.
Yes.
Major roads
all right,
are not.
Sorry. In the Bannister community, beg your pardon. Bannister community is going to be repaired. They're going to repair some in Macook's or some in Willowdene. You know, the roads over there are horrible.
Right.
Yeah?
Yes,
Good.
yes.
So if those are approved and it is set in the schedule for Southwest St. Catherine that these are among the roads,
Right.
the release of funds to actually do the repairs, that release of funds is authorized by your office at central government?
No.
Yeah.
Remember now,
Mm-hmm.
the National Works Agency is called the implementing agency. So people will tender on the job. So once that is done, after the assessment is done, they will go out and they will do the casting on the roads where we need to put in drains, where we need to put in sidewalk. It is a comprehensive program. So
what I'm trying to establish, is that anticipating people saying that these roads were approved for repair, but the funds were not released to repair them. You're saying that's not the formula.
No, George. This program is not like that, George. This program is not like that, George.
Mm-hmm.
This program, nobody can question the work of the constituency development fund unit in the office of the Prime Minister. Nobody can question that, because that is an organization that has risen above any political cascas. So this is a properly constructed program, George, and I urge Jamaicans to allow this to work and do not use any unnecessary mischief to the value what is being attempted by the government. As I said before, this has never ever been done in Jamaica's history. We have over 22,000 kilometers of road network in this country. Jamaica is one of the largest road network in the world. Okay? And the expectation is that when a road, and we're not patching roads, let me make the point. The program is not to patch roads, George.
Mm-hmm.
It is to repair roads, lay down brand new surface, and we are expecting that the lifespan of these roads will last up for 7 to 8 years.
7 to 8 years, and there's a contractor's guarantee in it, so that if the road deteriorates after year 3, him come back and repair it out of his own pocket.
Everything, George, because this is a multi-billion-dollar project which will take on the kind of control and management that we have never had before, George.
Hear you on that.
And I'm giving you and I'm giving the country the assurance and that the Prime Minister has announced this program. The Prime Minister has insisted that the guidelines are met and that the program be done in a professional manner, not in a political manner, George.
Hear you on that. Thank you for that. I hope that clarifies a lot of things for many people who are wondering about aspects of the Spark program. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, George, and thank you, Tana, for having me.
Thank you so much, Minister. Going to take a break, and when we come back from the break, we'll be speaking with Chartered Accountant Dennis Chung, getting a reaction to the inflation rate remaining at 4 to 6%.
Listen up, motorists. Speeding burns more gas. So slow down. The life you save may be your own and also that of your loved ones. Slow down. Save lives and money. The time by the Insurance Association of Jamaica is
7:48.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
A time for double up your savings. This are the boost that you've been awaiting. Put it towards the dreams you've been chasing. Double up your savings. Double up.
Save so you can win in the Jan Bank Double Up Your Savings promotion. You could be one of 5 lucky quarterly winners to walk away with double the money you put in your savings account. Conditions apply.
Double up your savings.
Check our website and social media for details. Jan Bank will help you find a way. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Make mom feel extra special this Mother's Day. Treat her to something extraordinary from Pax Flower Shop, 28 Old Hope Road, Kingston 5. They have fabulous goodies, wine, fruit, gourmet and personal baskets, exotic mixed floral and rose arrangements, exquisite orchid planters, and much more. Hurry and visit or call 876-926-3570 to 1. Pax Flower Shop, the place for mother's gifts this Mother's Day.
7:49 and 7:50 now, and the news out of the Parliament is that the opposition spokesperson on finance is insisting that the officials of the Bank of Jamaica appear before Parliament to explain the bank's stance on monetary policy. This in light of news that the government intends to maintain the inflation range 4 to 6% over the next 3 years. Of course, monetary policy is set by the Bank of Jamaica, so Julian Robinson wants the BOJ to explain why they're sticking to this, what are the implications of it, because he says that there are questions to be asked about the I don't want to say sagacity, but the prudence of that stance at this time, given the inflationary pressures that consumers and business people have come under. To help us to wade through the tax morass, we've invited Chartered Accountant Dennis Chung to the conversation. Good morning, Dennis.
Hi, George. Donna, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thank you so much for joining us, Dennis. Your reaction to the move to maintain the target 4 to 6% for another 3 years?
I think that is really the range that we need to be in. With obviously of inflation to be at a lower, but we have to do it in relation to what is happening across the globe. Now, I understand that what it has caused is interest rates to go up because we're trying to hold inflation down. So therefore, the slowdown in growth that you've seen in terms of the revenue numbers was expected. Because if you're going to push interest rates up, then it means that there's going to be less economic activity out there. But the sins of inflation, of high inflation, is actually worse than what we're seeing now in terms of the slowdown in the economy. And I know, Tana, you wouldn't be old enough, but George would be old enough to know what happened in the 90s.
Oh, yes.
With inflation. And that was a very taxing time. That's when the exchange rate actually moved from 5 to 35.
Yes.
And that was a really bad time for Jamaicans because inflation is the worst tax that you can put on poor people.
Yes. What about, Dennis, I've been thinking about what Julian Robinson said. And, well, he didn't give any scenarios, but he just asked questions. And I was trying to work scenarios in my head because I'm thinking of the value of money to the consumers and, of course, the value of money to corporate entities, and how making more money in nominal terms and paying it over as taxes in a high inflation environment, if that doesn't defeat the whole purpose of prudent monetary policy.
Well, if you're making more money in nominal terms, but in real terms it's less, then of course it defeats it, and that is why the BOJ is trying so hard to keep inflation within the target range, because that's exactly what the issue is, George. You could be making more money, right? And the fact of the matter is that in real terms you can't buy what you're supposed to buy. So it's really all about the purchasing power. Now, the challenge that the BOJ has always had is that they have never been fully supported properly by fiscal policy to keep inflation down. We've been relying too much on monetary policy. So, I mean, just a simple thing, for example, Julian Robinson spoke about the high level of fuel imports in your import bill, because a lot of our inflation is imported. The simple solution to that, is to get a proper transportation system in place, and to get renewable energies, more and more renewable energies on the grid. And we could, I estimate, reduce our need for foreign exchange for oil by at least a third. You're talking about at least 700 to 800 million US dollars a year.
Yeah.
And that would help.
But on the point, Dennis, of oil import bill. But I mean, you of course that's why you're here to tell us how these things work. If it is that I'm in a country where I'm being encouraged to expand business, and if I'm in distribution or I'm in manufacturing, and I open another branch of my business, and I add 5 more vehicles to the fleet, and I add heavy equipment, or I'm in distribution and I'm saying, okay, I'm going to start servicing the western end of the country now because my business started in central Jamaica. I'm going to fan out east, fan out west, so I need more vehicles. Clearly, I'm going to need fuel to run those vehicles, and Petrojam, we don't have oil here, so we have to import to meet my demand, my growing demand, because I'm expanding business. So how do we criticize the oil imports when it is that the fuel is being used by industry and by people in business? We're being asking people to expand business and employ more people.
Yeah, so the simple answer to that one is to put much more renewable energy on the grid and lower the cost of electricity.
Isn't that more medium term than immediate, though?
It's more medium term, yes, but it is something that, if we keep saying it's medium term, we never get to it, because we've known that this problem existed for many years in Georgia.
Yes.
And we've known that the solution needs to happen. But I think that it can be done fairly quickly, for example, with solar, right? We could within a year impact it significantly. I think the problem is that we've just taken too long. I mean, the whole thing about transportation also, right? We keep talking about, and it's ironic that Julian speaks about this, because, if you put money behind public transportation system and JUTC losses go to $15 billion, you hear this outroar from Parliament, JUTC is losing $15 billion. That is saving us about $50 billion, though, right? And that is why I said the fiscal policy has not kept pace with the monetary policy. And that's a big challenge that we have, right? And that is why we have to keep every year, every decade, relying more and more on monetary policy. Monetary policy can only be a temporary fix. We have used it more as a permanent fix. And that is why we constantly come under pressure. And the inflation rate and all that constantly comes under pressure.
And we're in this trap now. We're in the energy trap, because it's funny you speak about energy, because that's the top item on the list of things we import. But it's hard, Dennis, to see any form of business expansion which is encouraged every day by the government that doesn't include the use of more energy, whether in electricity or in fuel to power your vehicles or fuel to power machinery.
Yeah, man, that's true. And there's a certain amount of it that's unavoidable. But if you look, and that's why I say reduce it by a third, George, because you might not be able to affect maybe about 2/3 of it. But when you think about it, if we were to have a good public transportation system in place, 1/3 of our energy or for oil bill is used in moving vehicles on the road, right? If we had a good public transportation system in place, can you imagine the impact that would have on fuel imports? Can you imagine the impact that would have on increasing the disposable income to people who don't have to think about car payments, right? And then when you talk about on the electricity side, right, if we were able to put renewables on the grid, more and more renewables on the grid, can you imagine the impact on improving disposable income for people right?
That Dennis is one of the things that this Holiness administration has not gotten right, because since they came into office in February 2016, the reasonable verdict is that they've not done well enough on introducing renewables into the energy mix, and I'm sure they'd admit that.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll admit that too, and that has been a long-standing problem for Jamaica. And unless we do that, I mean, it makes no sense tinkering around, and I hear people say, "Oh, we're exporting 2 containers of mangoes." Come on, that's not the thing to do.
Yes.
Right? We need to look at the things that are causing us to lose value. We need to look at the things that are causing inflation pressures on people. And one of them is not just controlling inflation rate, but if we do the things that we just spoke about and improve the disposable income of people, right, then you're making things better for people also.
Yes. And especially because ours is an economy where any intensification of economic activity will require significant energy to power it. So we can't get around that. I don't know how many more signs we need to see that we need to get that right. I don't know what else needs to happen.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Renewable energy is the way. I mean, even if you were to just, from an NHD point of view, for example, say, listen, any new housing that happens has to have a certain amount of renewable energy on it. I, for example, George, at my house, I've gone full solar. You know what my
years you tell me that in a long time you gone solar.
And you know what my light bill is a month now, George?
$100?
Jamaican dollars.
$170 Jamaican dollars.
470.
Mercy. You need to wheel some of that power to us here at Nationwide. We're out of time, Dennis. We have to run.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
No
Chartered
problem.
accountant Dennis Strong. The reason we were zeroing in on energy there, listeners, is because the imported fuel that lights up your home, powers the vehicles, that's the significant part of that. Well, that accounts for the bulk of what we import, and because of what we import and the high import bill, inflation is hard to deal with. Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Clearing personal non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
8:01.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Wednesday morning, I'm Tawna Thomas. Farmers across the island are welcoming recent rains across several parishes, which has provided some relief amid a punishing dry spell. The rains were associated with a recent trough. President of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, JAS, Lenworth Fulton, spoke with our news center on Tuesday.
In simple terms, they are doing significantly better. Places like Westmoreland and Hanover, who are very dry, and they are getting good rain. This whole belt in Fenton, they are getting rain, which is good for our crops and give our livestock farmers, especially the ruminant farmers, which are cattle, goats, and sheep, another lease of life, because the pastures really needed water for the grass to grow. So it's good news.
The drought resulted in losses for livestock and vegetable farmers. It also triggered an increase in certain food prices. Mr. Fulton says those prices should start to trickle down in a matter of weeks.
I think the prices of vegetables and ground provision will start to trend down in the next few weeks, and we will have good supply of food, and we do expect that the rest of May and early June will bring us more showers.
Lenworth Fulton, president of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, JAS. The police have activated Ananda alerts for three teenagers, 14-year-old Carrie Hutchinson, 16-year-old Brittany K. Rowe, and 14-year-old Rohan Campbell. Carrie, a student of Pepper District in St. Elizabeth, has been missing since Tuesday, April 16. She's of dark complexion, medium build, and about 155 centimeters tall. Carrie was last seen at home, but her mode of dress at the time she went missing has not been confirmed. Brittany K., also a student of Pepper District, St. Elizabeth, has been missing since Friday, May 3. She's of fair complexion, stout build, and about 155 centimeters tall. Reports from the Black River Police are that about 3 p.m., Brittany was last seen at home. Her mode of dress at the time she went missing has not been confirmed. And Rohan, a student of Tilson Scheme, Trelawney, has been missing since Friday, May 3. He's of dark complexion and slim build. The Falmouth Police report that Rohan was last seen at about 5:15 a.m. He was wearing a brown khaki shirt and pants and a pair of black shoes at the time. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Carrie Hutchinson, Brittany K. Rowe, or Rohan Campbell is being asked to contact the 119 police emergency number or the nearest police station. And on a note of good news, the police, they're reporting that 15-year-old Marquette Richards of St. Catherine, who had been missing since Sunday, March 31, has returned home. She is said to be in good health. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Wednesday morning. I'm Tawna Thomas.
Attention all commuters, your JUTC fares just got lower. Use your Smarter card today and pay only $50. Yes, only $50. Travel safe and hassle-free with the JUTC using your Smarter card. But wait, there's more. Get 3 free rides with your first Smarter card top-up before May 31. With your Smarter card, paying your fare is easier. Say goodbye to coins and hello to hassle-free travel. Don't miss this opportunity when you travel with the JUTC, your route to excellence. Conditions apply.
Touching lives every day, so many different ways, a part of all you do. Sagicor will make you feel secure. Reaching out for more, we'll always see you through. Reach for more, whatever you're dreaming, whatever your goals, will help you achieve them. You're never alone. Taking care of today's needs, take care of tomorrow's dreams. Every day helping you succeed, that's what Sagicor means. Today's needs, tomorrow's dreams. Sagicor.
The best Burger King with the best tasting burger under the sun. You deserve the best, you are number one. Best. Flame grilling, juicy whopper, cause you deserve it. Yeah, next level, awesome, that's how we serve it. Mama menu done your way. You got the taste rules every day. Flame grilled goodness, you deserve it. Great taste, well done. More flavor, fresh Burger King, best tasting burger under the sun.
Fit Nation is brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
You wanna hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy, live in a big mansion, party in France. You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Now get to work. Now get to work. Ring it on, ring it
No time to quit now. Just time to get it now. Pick up what I'm putting down. Pick up what I'm putting down. You wanna hop
That time of a Wednesday morning, it's time for Fit Nation. This morning, we're focusing on kickstarting your weight loss and bodybuilding after hitting a plateau. So, you've been working hard to follow a healthy, low-calorie diet and improve your exercise habits, and your rewards have been watching your weight go down and feeling so much better. Now, however, for no reason, you can identify the scale has stopped budging. You've hit a weight loss plateau. Don't get discouraged. You're being told it's typical for weight loss to slow and even stall. By understanding what causes a weight loss plateau, you can decide how to respond and avoid backsliding on your new healthy habits. So how can you kickstart your weight loss journey, and what should you do if you're trying to be a bodybuilder? This morning in Fit Nation, we're being joined by the founder and CEO of Bikini Girl Fitness, Diane Brown. Hey to you, Diane.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. I'm so happy it's Hump Day, Wednesday.
Happy Hump Day to you, and thank you so much for joining us in the Fit Nation segment. So first, Dan, to explain to our listeners what is, a weight loss plateau.
A plateau is basically a part in your journey where you realize that you're doing all the things, or you think you're doing all the things, and the scale stops moving. You're not seeing any more results. The inches aren't going, or the pictures are looking the exact same. So it's that part in your journey where you feel like things aren't progressing as rapidly as they did in the beginning.
So is it that you'll have persons who they had a particular target, weight loss target, and they've reached it, but they want to lose a couple more pounds, but it's not happening? Does that fall into the category of a weight loss plateau? Give us a practical example.
Okay, for example, I have a client and her goal is to get to 120 for her wedding day, which is coming up in a few months.
Mm-hmm.
And we are doing all the things. She's working out. She's eating the right amount of calories. And the first month, we drop like 10 pounds, let's say. The next month, maybe we only drop 5 pounds. And the next month, we don't lose any pound weight according to the scale.
But she's still doing the same things.
Right.
Okay.
Right. She's still doing all the things. So that would be considered as a plateau. I think it's important for you to know if you're in a plateau, you have to be tracking the things that you're doing. Because sometimes what happens is you might not be doing all the things as well as you were doing them in the months prior. Maybe things got a little busy at work and now you're moving around a lot less. So it's really important to make sure that you're keeping things consistent to know whether or not you're in a plateau, because if something changes, then it could be because of that change as opposed to you being in a plateau, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And is that the only reason why somebody could be in a weight loss plateau? They're not doing things as consistent as they were doing them the previous months when they started their weight loss journey?
No, it could actually, that is a natural part of the journey, right? As your body makes these changes and it's going along, sometimes it stops losing weight to protect you because it's saying, oh my God, why are we losing all this weight? What's going on? Right? So sometimes it's a protection mechanism that the body goes through. Sometimes it's stress. Sometimes it's something like not sleeping enough. Sometimes for women, it's hormonal changes. So there are a million factors that can affect the direction that the scale is going or whether or not you're seeing results on a consistent basis.
And for somebody who they were on their weight loss journey, they've hit this plateau, what next do they do? Do they consult a nutritionist, their fitness trainer? What do they do next when they realize this is happening?
I think all of the above. I think first is kind of stop and assessing the situation. At Bikini Girl Fitness, we're really big on tracking everything because it takes the emotions out of it, right? So when you are personally on this journey and you're like, oh my God, I want to lose this weight, everything becomes emotional. When you track things like you're tracking your food, you are tracking how many workouts you're doing for the week, how much cardio you're doing. You can look at the numbers and say, okay, last month I was doing X and this month I'm doing Y. So then you can really look at what has changed. Are you more stressed? Is it your time of the month? Like, it's really just looking at what's happening currently. And if it's a situation where you're doing all of the same things and you've been doing all of the same things and nothing has changed for maybe 2 months or so, then maybe it's time to make a change somewhere.
Okay, and could that change be in the types of exercise that the person is doing? Talk to us about someone who has hit a plateau, how they overcome that. What do they do differently?
It really depends. It really depends on the person. I don't want to give generalized advice, but I would say sometimes, especially for women, you might have been in a diet for too long, right? So now your metabolism is slower and the body's not really doing what you want it to do. And something like a refeed, which basically means adding a bit more calories, because most women are like trying to, because of how you see it on social media, you think, I just need to eat less food. But at a point, there's only so far you can go, you know what I mean? So at some point, maybe you realize that you're eating less and you're not seeing any results. Maybe a refeed would be good for you. So adding in some more calories to boost your metabolism and then see how that affects your body, and then if necessary, go back down. So that's something that you could do. I think something people don't often consider is your movement outside of the gym. So you go to the gym for maybe 1 hour, 4 days a week. You are not at the gym for majority of your life. So all of that movement that you do outside of the gym counts. So trying to get in more steps in general. Cleaning, dancing at home, walking around at the office, just making sure that you make movement a constant part of your daily routine.
Yeah.
That's something that would be really helpful as well.
And Dan, we've spent some time now talking about the weight loss plateau. But is there a bodybuilder plateau as well? Talk to us about that.
Oh, definitely. So I'm a bodybuilder myself, and I think also sometimes it's not a plateau enough. Sometimes it's just your body taking its time to go in the direction that you want it to do. There is no cheating the process. That's something my coach always says. The process cannot be cheated. And when you're building muscle, it's not something that's going to happen in 3 days or even 3 months sometimes. It's something that takes time, and you have to just consistently show up for yourself and trust the process, right? If you really, really find that, 3 months, absolutely nothing has changed, then you really need to look at what am I not doing enough of, or what can I change to aid in the growth of this muscle, or what can I do better? Do I need to take some additional supplements? Am I resting enough? Generally looking at those same variables that you would if you were on a weight loss journey.
And it's okay to take a break.
100%. 100% okay. So in fact, you don't want to be training 7 days a week. The body, when the body sees the results that you're building, like whether weight loss or muscle building, that happens in rest, not while you're at the gym. So making sure that you are implementing rest days. If you're overtrained, take a week off. I promise you the gym is going to be there when you get back, but really listening to your body and making sure that you're giving yourself the best opportunities for success.
Yeah. And just before we let you go, Dan, for persons who, they want to begin their weight loss journey, or they want to do bodybuilding or just keeping fit in general, can they come over to Bikini Girl Fitness?
100%. It's almost summer, so you got to get your Bikini Girl body going. And you can find me on Instagram at Diane, DIANE.O.Brown. And there's a link in my bio that you can click to apply to become a Bikini Girl. And I'll definitely be more than happy to help.
CEO of Bikini Girl Fitness, Dan Brown, talking to us this morning about 2 types of plateau, whether it be for the bodybuilders or those who are on their weight loss journey, and giving us all the tips about those 2. Thank you so much, Dan.
Thanks for having me. Have a great one.
You too. Gonna take a break and come back with your calls. The number is 630-9371-4, 630-9371-4, and 618-8255.
Live in a big mansion, party in France. You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Now get to work.
Fit Nation was brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
Crisp and refreshing. Room temperature or chilled, a Pure Water would drink. The time by Pure Water is
8:18.
The
The best Burger King with the best tasting burger under the sun. You deserve the best, you are number one. Best. Flame grilling, juicy whopper, cause you deserve it. Yeah, next level, awesome, that's how we serve it. Mama menu done your way, got the taste rules every day. Flame grilled goodness, you deserve it. Great taste, well done. More flavor, fresh Burger King, best tasting burger under the sun.
Watch for Shelley and Fraser Price. I stay locked to the Olympics because, of course, I'm Jamaican. What you mean? Me, I have to tune into the Olympics, man. Because I'm always busy, but what? I have to know when Sherika Jackson beat Shakari.
Brother, I have to have every notification for the Olympics. I want to hear every run.
Now Sherika Jackson coming
every jump.
Oh, that is absolutely huge of Wade Pinkham.
Every fling, live.
So, take us then.
Nothing can miss me.
We're always on the move.
So while we're driving, run, Elaine, run.
Jogging. Yes. Run, Watson. Win again.
Watson is now a world champion. Or even at work.
Quick. The race has started.
We can't miss a beat because we keep it locked
to the only station
for the Paris Olympics.
Nationwide.
90
FM.
Nationwide 90.1, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7 and 90.9, and on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live. Nationwide, the new revolution in media.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Taking your calls, the numbers 630-9371-4, 630-9371-4, and our digital line 618-8255, 618-8255. Is there a teacher this morning that you want to give a special shout out to? It is Teachers Day. You could give us a call to do that, or if there is any other issue that you wish to speak on this morning, our lines are open. Keisha, good morning to you.
Hi, Tana. Good morning.
Morning. What's on your mind?
Oh, first I must say happy belated birthday, Tana. I was trying to call you to say happy birthday. I didn't get through, so just a time out to say happy belated birthday. Wish for you more life and prosperity.
Thank you so much, Keisha.
I to see many more birthdays.
I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much, Keisha. And you're not too late.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
Where is Mark Judge?
He is stepping in.
Morning.
Judge, what's up?
I'm good, you know how you do?
Boy, I'm there, I suffer for Judge, and I say.
Suffer.
Judge, what think about Manchester United?
Jeez, Keisha, this.
Yeah, man.
Keisha, me say, listen, man, I was watching the game against Crystal Palace on Monday. Who was in? I think I was in there with a colleague discussing something. Me just lock it off when me say one love, me just lock it off. Come know say them go full it up.
Mr. Judge, I watch the thing start to end. And I said, Judge, they lucky they never pick up 10.
Jeez and peace. Arsenal fan message me in a Keisha and tell me say them will give it 12 Sunday.
Jesus Christ.
It bad.
Boy, Judge, you know what I'm saying? After when Sir Alex Ferguson left, I think it was in 2013, you know?
Yes, man.
And they bring in, what was his name again? Louis
Van Gaal. Van Gaal after David Moyes.
I say to people that I don't believe that coaching is Manchester United problem.
Yes.
I think it's bigger than coaching.
Yes.
The
things that have caused us over time to be as bad as we are, Keisha, and which you correctly identified as having to do with more than coaching, those things are going to be fixed. So we are appointing several people in key positions, so the structure of the club is different and better, and so that the coach can just focus on on-field issues and not be distracted by the nonsense in the boardroom and elsewhere.
Yeah, boy, because look how weird Manchester United. Not in Europe, sir.
Keisha, I've been
That conference, please.
I've been a Manchester United fan since 1991. Me never shame so yet. Since primary school, me I support Manchester United. Me never shame so more than me shame now. It's awful.
Well, I've been a Manchester United fan for 30 something years.
See it there?
It's stressing.
We are suffer. No, me understand why you say I suffer, Keisha.
It can take a toll, serious.
Yes, indeed.
But anyway, George, you know you're talking this man about energy, right?
Yes.
And when I heard probably about in the mid 2000, 2005, 2007, when this whole thing about solar was being branded and all of that, George, I thought it was a poor people thing, but as far as I see, solar is a rich people venture, man.
A lot of the people you hear on programs, Keisha, you see on TV, you read in the paper, their homes have been solar for several years now.
So, Dad, I tell you something. In 2021, in the midst of COVID, I said to myself, because based on the bills that I was getting from JP, I said, let's shop around and see what is going on. And Dad, they send the team come to the home. And I was told that in order for them to install solar, all of them, George, it's just a little 50 and probably a $20,000 difference. 800,000.
Lord.
But this is not a poor people thing, man.
But what they've always said, though, Keisha, they've been consistent that the initial outlay is going to be significant. But in a few years, you will have made that back. And then the longer term, medium to longer term, you'll be nice. Because you hear what Dennis Strong said this morning, and Dennis Strong has been fully solar since about 2013, he was telling me from them time there. So that's what now, 9 years, $470 for him light bill. It's ridiculous, man.
If you find the 800,000 one go, it's cheaper than 13, you know?
But hold on now, Keisha. You have some of the companies, there's a couple of companies I can think of. They say, look, we know the initial outlay might be steeper than your pocket. So let us do a little payment plan and you pay it off little and put in the thing and work it out over time. So it can work out, Keisha, man.
I tell you, but yeah, guess what? Me can carve my nose, you see? I accept a Man City win, but a Liverpool win,
I'm right with you there. Nothing for Liverpool. Nothing.
Nothing for Liverpool. Bless up.
All right, my friend. Thank you.
Donovan says, George, me watch with a strong drink when me watching Man U.
Boy, you're strong. You're stronger than me, my brother. You're stronger than I am.
Oh my goodness. And somebody was asking if you're the director of a Man U, how you know that the changes are coming.
Yeah, man, because they've announced them. We're getting a new CEO. We're getting a new sporting director. We're getting a technical director. We've appointed 2 people already. Omar Barada, the new CEO, is set to take office any time now. There's the technical sporting director from Newcastle, Dan Ashworth, that we're taking. He's on gardening leave, working out some compensation for Newcastle, and he'll be in. Jason Wilcox is in as sporting as on the technical side. So yeah, man, the changes are being made, man. So
raft of changes.
We are getting the nose job now, Tana. Fix up with nose.
Who's next? And somebody here, Gloria Johnson, says solar is cheaper in the long run, and that's a fact.
True, Gloria.
And Gloria says, I've proven that. So Gloria has solar, and it's working out.
Yep.
Yeah. Richie, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tana.
Good morning.
Mas George, good morning.
Hail me, Richie, hail.
Boy, this man me talk about Miss Hyatt, your favorite teacher. Me never say Miss Hyatt used to teach at Madamont Primary.
Yeah, man, Miss Hyatt was my teacher in grade 1. No, in infant school, rather. Infant school in class 2. Class 2, yes.
But Miss Briscoe couldn't make Yankee at all, though. It was too energetic and bright, yeah.
Hey, Miss Briscoe, don't play, but she was a disciplinarian. And perhaps, this is one of the differences now. I don't know how many children in primary or prep school now have a teacher who's like, say, 40 years old or 30 enough, who has a 20 years experience by the time the child gets to her. In those teachers, we had people who taught generations before us, so they were very seasoned and they could have managed it, because we needed management in it, because we never easy at all.
But she couldn't manage Kurt at all.
No, man. Kurt was quiet though. Your nephew was very quiet. He was one of the easier children to deal with, because he gave no trouble.
No, Kurt was not Jamaica. You was a Jamaica, but she's a man who would laugh at me.
Yes, boy, how Miss Briscoe no send me go at jail, go lock me up. Me don't know. I gave that woman some problems, but there you go.
Anyway, Tada. And the day before your birthday, you guys and Jazz were talking about lotion. You ever use a Dove lotion?
Dove?
You know, me not plan to send anyone.
Send it same way, man. Send it same way.
Don't send it, man. I will give Kurt to give you no Jazz.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I'll give. Don't send it to Jazz. Not turn up for your birthday.
Okay, thank
Send
you,
it come,
Richie.
man. Send it come.
Real lotion, man. I use one and it's like.
Oh, it smell good.
It's nice, man. Real nice.
Okay.
I tell you, I get that story and buy it all up, but I send one.
All right. Yes, Richie.
Then again, you talk, so you're going and leave. But I beg you not stay long here. I'm going to tell you why. I hear that lady call from one of the foreign countries the other day. I don't remember which country. But she had big up Tana and the big show morning time.
Oh.
And the man who she was talking to, I said, this is a big show. And the lady keep insisting, Tana to a big show. The man said, come on from before that got away I go.
Oh. So the nice lady was talking to Sir Hughes.
Yes.
Okay.
But he was defending his show that he's a big show.
His show is not the big show. There's only one big show. Nationwide this morning.
I'm talking about a solar. I use a solar as well, you know. And there's a company in Kingston, I don't remember the name of it, but they sell solar very, very cheap. And this is not one that is on the ground, it's built in, like keep in the house.
Mm-hmm.
It is very, very cheap.
How long you have it now, Richie?
Huh?
How long you have it now?
Somewhere in the COVID, you know.
Okay. So about 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's very good, man. It's not one of the bigger ones. So I decided I was going to buy one of it to run a 2-bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I called him. And I said to him, because at first he said it was 480,000 for the one to run a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
And after the COVID, I called him and said, what is the price for the 2-bedroom? And now he said, you told him. I said, Bridget, how do you put on so much price so quick?
Mm-hmm.
He said, because of the COVID, every
demand turn up.
They put on increase.
Oh, the cost of okay, got you.
So I mean, I can't find a number, and if you want it, I can give it. But the solar is very, very cheap. What I think the government need to do, encourage more and more people to go solar, and I'm going to tell you something. You see, if you have the bill paying for solar, you want to be paying light bill.
Mm-hmm.
And that money that you pay light bill, it will help to pay the solar bill. And in a long run, so you don't pay that. For example, even if your children, if you don't finish pay it, your children will inherit it one day. They won't pay the light again.
Mm-hmm.
Light bill.
Yeah.
So I encourage the government to encourage more and more people like the middle class people who can afford it to go solar, and that will reduce the energy bill.
Yeah, Richie, pass on that number to our producer. Perhaps Keisha can reach out to
I am not
that person.
at my house, but I'm going to call back.
Yeah, man, you can call back and pass on the number so we can pass it on to Keisha.
The former energy minister, Philip Powell,
Mm-hmm.
also his house, I think he went off the grid long time.
Yeah.
So he recognized, and he was to be fair to him, he has always been encouraging Jamaicans to make that step.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, the startup cost is plenty.
Tall for a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, but it works out.
Mm-hmm.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:32.
This Mother's Day, you have even more reasons to shower mom with love. Use your Sagicor Bank credit card to get her something special, and you could win up to $200,000 cash back. The more you spend on mom, the more chances you get to win. Make this Mother's Day a win-win. Use your Sagicor Bank credit card to show mom some love, and you could win up to $200,000 cash back. Sagicor Bank, the best rewards ever. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
A mother's journey of love shared from generation to generation gives her the ultimate relaxation and escape to Adam and Eve Day Spa and Salon for a mommy-made new experience. Book now at www.adamandevespaja.com. Purchase gift certificates or call 876-754-6017. Get mom the perfect gift of love. This Mother's Day, let Team Adam and Eve take her on a spa journey. She deserves it.
Eliminate
eliminate the hassle of managing multiple medications that can be confusing. Thanks to Houghton's Pharmacy. Introducing RX Pack, a mobile app available in the App Store and Google Play Store. RX Pack is specially designed for you to order and manage your medications. Download today for free. That's RX Pack for better medication management. Call 876-RX-0-RX-RX or visit our website, HoughtonsRx.com for more details.
So, Arosa's Gourmet Outlet is now serving lunch at 53 Upper Waterloo Road, Kingston 8. This gourmet outlet is offering reasonable prices on hams, wines, fresh and smoked meats, sausages, cheese, chocolates, meat and cheese platter, and so much more. Call them now at 876-999-0191 for more info or visit 53 Upper Waterloo and get great deals all year round.
Welcome back. Herman in the chat says, Teachers Day greetings to, I think you mean all teachers, Herman, at Wood Park Basic School in St. Mary. Listen to this. Wood Park Basic School in St. Mary, Jamaica, West Indies. Herman, you know, the old time style of writing letters.
Yes.
Yeah, well, so Herman showing that, you know, she's been around for a while. So Herman, I'm sending Teachers Day greetings to all teachers at Wood Park Basic School in St. Mary, Jamaica, West Indies, on your behalf. All right? Petal is online. Good morning, Petal.
Good morning, Georgie.
Hello, for you call me and quarrel with me in the morning, I don't hear from you again. Good morning to you, Petal.
Big up yourself, Jeremy King. That's for big up my friend. Because I only him alone we can't keep in contact with. George, you know, so I lose your number. Well, first of all, I lose my phone with all of me contact them one time. All of me thing them with my picture and everything. I'm a big to say, but I saw it go.
Before you hang up the phone, just hold the line and my producer will give you my number.
Okay,
all
darling.
Right, cool. Mm-hmm.
You know, ask Jermaine to give me a number. It's all right. Thank you. Anyways, Tana, big up yourself, Tana.
Hey, Petal. Good morning to you.
Yes, darling. I understand see me. East Indian start right.
Listen, that's what that's what I was coming with next.
Petal,
so where are the mangoes?
Petal, I tell you the truth, I don't want to see. I just want to see box of mango from you.
Oh, man, you East Indian. I mean, you see that on love. Anyway, that was a bit disappointed yesterday. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
When me hear you say, you know, I'm about to tell you how to write your patois and talk your patois.
Mm-hmm.
Guess why?
Why?
You know, I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and we are preaching in patois.
Yes.
George, I learned patois in such a awesome way that I recognize. You see the patois?
Yes.
If it is, well, we use the New World, the New World translation. We are now translating some of our scriptures, not all yet, in patois, but we use the Cassidy system. George, it's awesome. To put here all the little 7-year-old people them read the patois, and it helps them. You see, if we have it organized, George, it is one of the easiest language to read and write. Me no write my note. You see, when we have convention and we are taking note, me no write my note them in English, because patois convention we have now, and a patois me write.
I love it.
And let me tell you something, George. Me a 62-year-old, and me I say, are the easiest language for learn. And before me leave, let me say this. Patois gone worldwide. We have had campaigns in New York and Florida. Brothers from here go help the brother them up there. George, suppose to show the Caucasian brother them love up the patois and all read the patois.
Yes. Well, can I say this to you? That to advance your point, and a friend of mine who is tuned in now to this program, she lives in Dubai. She's from Sudan. And this morning when we were talking, she was talking to me in patois. She said a couple things in patois and said she was listening reggae music on the beach on Sunday over there in Dubai. So Rehab, Elamin, good morning to you. Well, it's evening over there, almost nighttime in Dubai now. But Petal is advancing an argument that supports, you know, the codification of patois. And if Rehab over there in Dubai know patois and the patois evangelism, it works.
George, I'm telling you, dear heart, I'm telling you, and I love it. Patois, you know what happened to us? We think in English when we read the patois. You see, if you want to really learn patois, go to the New Testament, Jamaica Creole New Testament Bible where them have.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the teachings in there where them right, right. So some of the words we're not going to say.
Yes.
But overall,
yes.
the way it is spelled and talk, the reading is spot on.
Yes.
Spot on. Because when we say cool, me hear you say C-O. Cool. I will tell you that. Cool. I will tell you that, Josh.
K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know O neither.
Yeah.
Ooh. I will tell you that.
What? K-E-W what? K-E-W what? What?
No. Cool. What? A-E-I-O-U. As long as we know the vowels.
Yeah.
A-E-O.
But you see now, Petal, that's what I say to you now, say. I don't want you to tell me you to spell cool because patwa means that it is intimate to me. It's how I want to spell it. It's how I want to write it. Even though all the things you are saying about the strength of the language and its value in teaching people is true. I'm not contesting any of that. But if you codify it, you're going to tell me that there is a way to spell cool. And I'm telling you, no, me spell cool. How me want to spell cool? Me and my friend in our WhatsApp group, we talk different as Tana said yesterday.
I understand what you say, but if we really want it to be an organized, and it can be, cool is K-U-U-L. Cool. Draw out.
That'll look weird to me. That'll look weird to you, Tana?
It does.
Petal, that look weird, man. It's K-U-U-L.
Yeah, because how you pronounce you.
You?
Yeah.
Oh. Or oh.
So, not oh.
Yeah.
So when you say cool, a long vowel.
Tell me something now, Petal. Tell me something now.
Just like what you say, sharp.
Yeah, but hold on, Petal, hold on. What's the difference between K-U-U-L and K-E-W-L?
K-E-W-L now. What is E? E. K. Me never know what that I say. K-E.
No, but you can't look on the... Listen, no, Petal, hold on, man. Petal, hold on. You see, the vowel sounds as we were taught them, that was for children to establish a base understanding of how the letters were to be pronounced, because a lot of words in English come from, they have Anglo-Saxon roots and have roots in multiple other languages where E is not pronounced the way you were taught it in schools, which is why E has different pronunciations in different words depending on the origin of the word. But we were taught A-E-I-O-U and how to pronounce those things as a baseline introduction to how to speak, so that's fine. So E not necessarily pronounced the way you were taught it as a child.
But in the language that we use, the English, the vowels are A-E-I-O-U. If we use that, then we can't wrong. Just like how...
But tell me, a world citizen. Citizen.
Yeah, listen, I know, but I'm saying to you, we use the English language. Yeah. And the patois come off of that somewhat. Because them letters there where we use and the vowels are the same, it come off of that. So if we stick to that, those just like how we don't have no T in a patois. Because we say tree. Not true.
We say tree, chuck. True. Not true.
At CH.
Yeah.
CH. Yes. So if we have that formula and stick to it, that format, as you said, we can't lose.
All right.
Anyway, thank you.
All right, my friend.
I love it. Me love it, patois.
Me can't tell you say you love it.
Yeah, man.
All right, my friend. Thank you. Alric Swaby. Morning, Alric.
I'm not Alex here. Morning, Dad. Morning, Dana.
Hey, Alric.
I give me a name, but Alric is great.
Yeah, man.
Alric is great.
Yeah, man.
So tell Alric that. But I'm sorry for you and Keisha. Good to hear, Keisha. You don't want only a nose job over there. You don't want a whole body makeover.
And a brain makeover too. We know a new brain.
You know, I burn out my side Liverpool, Keisha. But let me tell you something. Me just know. Me no know them just go flat. So all of a sudden, me no know because Clapper leave and
yeah, that was that's the biggest mistake ever. You cannot tell a group of professionals middle of the season that you're leaving. You can't do that.
You can't do that when you're in the race to the title.
Nope.
You wait until you win or you run second.
Yes.
Good, and then you say, I'm leaving. You just make the players them lose.
Let me give you a contrast, Alric. Remember, 2012, when Manchester United lost the Premier League on goal difference to Man City, Ferguson wanted to retire from even before that, But he stayed on, and it was after we secured the title in 2013 that the man tell him, say, I leave. After.
Yeah, me I wonder what getting a clap head.
Oh my gosh.
If the success get to him, after so many years at the club. But you guys need a total makeover.
Well, anyway, go easy, Ari. Go easy, because guess what? The greatest modern manager in Liverpool's history, they say, is Jurgen Klopp. Him only win 1 Premier League title. So I'm saying to you that he's no greater than Claudio Ranieri, who led Leicester City to 1 Premier League title. So relax your brain, is all I'll say.
Because you're talking about performance and the achievements. One-on-one
is the equal, no, so. Mm-hmm.
So you're going to tell me next that the greatest manager ever is Sir Alex?
No doubt. You know why? Mm-hmm. Because Sir Alex Ferguson was the last man to lead a team not named Celtic or Rangers to the Scottish Premier League title. He did that with Aberdeen. He is one of the few managers in football history to have beaten Real Madrid in a European Cup final. He did that with Aberdeen. Yes. So he won a European title, and he won multiple Scottish Premier League titles before going over to England, where he restored. All right, but don't talk.
All right, I'm talking to you about teachers now.
Yes.
Happy Teachers Day to all teachers, because they made us what we are. And 2 teachers who really did a lot for me, I think they are not around now, God bless their soul. There was a teacher in primary school named Miss Valentine. George, she had one eye. A guy was shooting. You remember the elastic and you roll up?
Yeah, man. Enough people blind by that.
And it blind her. But she could have seen with that one eye better than 2. And if you're there back of her class and you had to stop Miss Val find you and conk in her head and say, what you think you come here for this foolishness? You come here to learn. And in high school, at Dintle, there was a teacher, Mrs. Joyce Mackenzie. Mm-hmm. She's still alive. Mrs. Mackenzie literally made me into what I am in terms of taking over my interests at one point in school, and was literally my mom was not my mom. Mm-hmm. And I lift my hat to those 2 and wish Mrs. Mackenzie all the best, and wish all teachers today. Mm-hmm. Happy Teachers Day.
There's a lady in the chat, Jean Sellers, who says to tell Alric good morning for me.
Oh, tell Jean good morning.
You have to tell her. You tell her yourself.
Good morning, Jean. Big up yourself.
Yeah, man.
Tana?
Yes.
When you go on the leaf, enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
It's
nowhere close.
Okay, I thought we were going to start that.
Oh no, it's July.
And tell that guy who come on at 10 o'clock that this show is still the big show, you hear?
You just told him.
Alric, the man ever tell us, say, all we are going Manchester United still better than West Indies.
Oh,
no, I don't know about them at all. You have to talk to the guy on the 10 o'clock show about the West Indies. Don't talk to me about that.
All right, sir.
Oh, no.
All right.
Oh, no. Archie Bunker here. For teachers, says big up the teachers at Silo Primary, Glengough High, and Stats.
So, you see, one of the Liverpool fans them now attack me, Ronald Ranger. George, stop talking nonsense. The man also won the T-Cup, the FA Cup, the Charity Shield, and the Club World Cup, and the biggest cup of all, the Champions League. We're talking about English Premier League. In the pantheon of English Premier League managers, they say Klopp is one of them. Rubbish. The great English Premier League managers are only 4. Jose Mourinho, who won 3 titles. Arsene Wenger, who won 3 titles. Sir Alex Ferguson, of course, who won 13. And Pep was 5 or 6. You can win 1 title and be among the greats with your 1 title. And if he's one of the great Premier League managers with 1 title, that means that Claudio Ranieri is also one of the great Premier League managers, because he has also won 1 title. Have that in your pipe. Put it in your pipe, Ronald, and smoke it.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
If you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who cannot speak, if you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold.
So, you ready, Tona?
Mm-hmm.
Go. Let's go.
That time of the morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday. Happy birthday greetings going out to this one says, or Bunanuna's aunt, Gwendolyn Crow, there in Hatfield, Manchester. Happy birthday to you. A message for you wishing her God's continued grace and blessings. Tell her we love and admire her strength and resilience, and we celebrate her today and the rest of the month. Greetings coming from your sisters, your brothers, your friends, your neighbors, and especially the battalion of nieces and nephews, especially Danita, Lynette, Garth, Latoya, Matthew, and Ringo. They're saying to you, we love you, Aunt Gwen. Happy birthday greetings as well going out to Verl Boucher of Chudley Path, Manchester and Canada. Wishing you a splendid birthday and God's continued blessings and success. Greetings coming from all of your sisters, your brothers, your nieces, your nephews, and your cousins. Especially your birthday girl, Danita. They're saying to you, love you, cuz. Over on Facebook, happy birthday greetings to Michael Dunkley, Kayanda Edwards, Shanice Nelson, and Conroy Sanderson. Happy birthday to you, Conroy. Hope you have a really good day. And outside of the birthdays, there are a lot of Teachers' Day greetings. But let me just check if there's anybody else sending a birthday greetings today.
There's one from Alex Smith. He says that today, May 8th, is the day when my queen, my all-in-all, was born. I want to say happy birthday to my mother, Samantha, in Chalky Hill, St. Anne, coming from her first son in Mexico. One love all the time. So Alex Smith sending happy birthday greetings to his mom, Samantha, up there in Chalky Hill, St. Anne.
So happy birthday to everybody who's celebrating a birthday today. And if you're celebrating your anniversary, happy anniversary to you as well. I'm seeing two others. Mars here on YouTube sending happy birthday greetings. This one says, to my wonderful husband Randall from Marcia and the boys. Happy birthday to you, Randall, coming from your wife Marcia and your boys. Hope you'll have a really good day as well. And Tamu Good on YouTube sending happy birthday greetings. This one says, to our little big brother BJ, that's Barrington Jr., have a wonderful day from all of your family.
Up there for people like you.
Seeing some more happy birthday greetings. Marjorie Howell says to my sister Ruth, aka Little One, there in New York. Happy birthday to you, Ruth, aka Little One, from your big sister Marjorie. Hope you'll have a really good day too. Gilbert Botham sending birthday greetings to friend Omar Ennis. Happy birthday to you, Omar, coming from Gilbert. Have a wonderful day as well. And Nicole Whitaker, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you, Nicole, here over on YouTube. Hope you'll have a really good day as well. Our YouTuber Nicole Whitaker celebrating her birthday today.
Hey to you, Nicole.
Hey to you, Nicole.
You did the one for St. Richard's already?
I don't think so, no.
So happy teachers greetings to all teachers at St. Richard's Primary School, especially former teachers Mrs. Barnett, Mrs. Yuli Mantock, Miss Burford, Miss McLaughlin, Miss Blake. Love, appreciation, and blessings from the parents of Matthew Sinclair. And the parents say thanks for the foundation. Also, Teachers' Day greetings to Mrs. Stanley and Mrs. Guy. Grade 5 teachers at Stella Maris Prep. Who writes Stella Morris? Stella Morris. Stella Maris Prep coming from Mia Ray. So Mia Ray sending greetings to Mrs. Stanley and Mrs. Guy, grade 5 teachers at Stella Maris.
Have some more Teachers' Day greetings. This one to Principal Latoya Nesbitt and her dedicated teachers there at the Almontown Primary School. So happy Teachers' Day to all the teachers over there at Almontown Primary School and your principal, Latoya Nesbitt.
Happy Teachers' Day to Grace Baston, the former principal at Campion College, and all the teachers and former teachers of Campion College. Obviously, I should have started with this. Saying thanks for pouring into our children. Blessings from parents and family of Matthew Sinclair. Matthew Sinclair, full of greetings this morning, man. But yes, special happy Teachers Day to all the teachers at Jonathan Grant High, at Campion College, at Marleymount Primary, and even though they say they are not teachers because them say them are lecturers and tutors, all of the educators at the University of Technology Jamaica, UTech JA, happy day to all of you. I don't want to call me a teacher, kind of a fraud, but there you go.
And I did see another. Oh, here it goes. Bali. Of course, I was heading to that. And Bali sending big up to all the teachers there at George Headley Primary and St. George's College. So big up to those teachers, and big up to all the amazing teachers that had to deal with me at Rosehall Infant School, Rosehall Primary, Hampton, and to the amazing lecturers as well at the University of the West Indies. Hello to you. Happy Teachers Day to all of you. I hope you'll have an amazing one. Yeah, I am your product.
Yes.
And I'd say I didn't turn out too bad.
Yes.
So big up to all of you.
And we should say special Teachers Day greetings to Clifton Gladstone St. Patrick Hughes. Yes.
The teacher we have as adults.
Yeah, man, because, and I also want to say, alongside Cliff Hughes, to Happy Teachers Day to Edward Norman Barnes. Yes? Boy, let me tell you this. If Mr. Barnes have the patience of Job, I do some things and that man just persevere with me. So, boy, Mr. Barnes, anyway, good morning to you and thank you. And Cliff, the teacher, thank you very much, sir. Happy Teachers Day, Cliff Hughes.
Happy Teachers Day to you, sir. You are amazing.
I don't know what part, but Happy Teachers Day.
No, he is. He really is.
I don't know what I mean. You're going to just make it go on for the 10 o'clock. They're going to have peace stupid this no more amazing. Good morning, Clifton.
Morning to you, sir.
There's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
On your sleeve.
I can't visit. Oops.
You can't say that to them.
I can't visit, man. They just want to end me sometime. I said, no, you have too much problem.
Some final ones before we go. News commentator J.A. sending Happy Teachers Day greetings to the teachers at Portsmouth Primary. And where is it? Oh, Maureen Thomas Brown sending Happy Teachers Day to her sister Veronica Blake. And Fitzhenley sending Happy Teachers Day to the teachers at EXED. Yeah.
And I see Ronald Range and Leroy Rotti with this alliance against George Davis. Who have to go down. Tuano have to go down.
Leroy Rotti is for what side?
Leroy Rotti is a man. I don't even know Leroy's side. Yeah? But Ronald is a Liverpool man. But me and the Tuano.
That's about it for the show. Again, Happy Teachers Day to all our teachers. Hope you have a really good day. Thanks so much to our technical operator and the musical maestro, Jermaine King, and his sidekick. Thanks as well to our producer, Mitchell McCrae Smith, and our editor, Kimon Thompson. Up next, you have the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton, and at 10, the teacher.
And talking about teachers, teacher of the technical operators from Nationwide, Sean Morris Ferguson is the man on the controls. He is the teacher.
I'm over here calling him the sidekick.
Which is why I have to set the record straight. He is the teacher, the architect. Yeah?
I retract.
Yeah, man.
It's you, Sean.
Yeah? But it's all right, Tana. I'm not take it personal.
Jermaine is nodding. Yeah.
The teacher, that.
All right.
All right.
So, I'm Tana Thomas.
And I am George, student George.
Good morning.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.